All right, so forgive me as I have to fix these freaking colors. As we're doing this, what on earth are they doing to me, man? As I'm doing this, we have MbL who's going to be in the blue. MbL is running forward to try and lane with the Vietnamese, all right? Again, we've got ACCM in the north. ACCM extremely difficult to kill off, but that is the same with MbL, and MbL has gone Vietnamese, game number 1. He's going for back to his roots and showing us what MbL stands for, Master Boar Lamer. Now, that is on the back. Will he actually steal it? Even MbL is going to just pass there. He's hoping for some sheep. He will find some sheep. MbL doesn't actually stand for Master Boar Lamer. It's actually his initials. But yeah, I find it really weird that his parents would have named someone Master Boar Lamer. That's pretty disrespectful for a child. But I guess it worked out because he became a pro. Yeah, sheep are getting away. MbL will consider this nice. He also gets to see the lay of the land. Actually, just missed this boar. And so now he knows the gold is forward. He knows the berries are on the back. He knows where the wood lines are. And he can just go back home to his own base. You're really only seeing this with the Vietnamese because you know exactly where that town center is. And as I've said many times before, in ranked games, you don't see Vietnamese picked as highly because people don't steal stuff from each other. They don't play it like it's war anymore. You know, they've got all this respect, which is cool, I guess. But tournaments, gloves are off. Take what advantages you can. Now, Vietnamese, we talked about the benefits there. You know where the town center is. Romans have that 5% efficiency. And that has proved to be really strong. I think the last couple times I've seen the Romans play, they have won. And they've usually won in Castle Age. Now, if the game goes too late, I think Romans have some real problems. I think basically in Imperial Age, it's a very awkward civ to play because they don't get access to bombard cannons. And their best army in the Imperial Age is like Scorpions and Infantry, which is rather slow. But I think slow compositions can work better when you're close. And they are really close together here off to this right side. Gold is going to be a big concern for ACCM long term. This gold being forward, this gold and this gold all kind of exposed. And he's just pushing in some deer right now. MbL's golds are not great either, but he does have this in the back to use. I would expect MbL to maybe just go fast feudal into some scouts. We might actually see spears and skirms from both. MbL loves his little spear and skirm builds. The one thing you might expect from the Romans is going for the man-at-arm opening against that, but I think maybe losing those 2 sheep has made that difficult for ACCM here. I remember when Vietnamese weren't really that good. Like, when they were added to the game, they didn't really have many bonuses to work with, so no one would play them. But you know who did play them? The Vietnamese players. ACCM was a god with them. Say My Name was playing them. Who else was out? I think Song was active at that point. Bad Boy was active. Lots of... Those guys loved the Vietnamese, man, before the Vietnamese were good. And now we got MbL playing Vietnamese against ACCM. Maybe ACCM will have Vikings on his draft against MbL, the Norwegian. I actually think MbL picked up Vikings, so MbL will have the home field advantage there. Yeah, backed as well. Oh, man. Backed is so good. I'll never forget, like, Backed basically came out of retirement to play that season of Titans League. And then he relegated MbL and just played like a god. Like, never was playing the game, never played ranked games, just showed up, said, might as well. And then relegated MbL, and then he went back to retirement. To the family life, to the work life. Backed hasn't played the game in a long time now, so... Really good player. Funny story about Backed. So, like, we're talking, like, way back in the day, or way back in the day, right? So we had, Slam was on in a team game tournament with Backed. And Slam was describing this. And so, mics were way worse back then. It was TeamSpeak. It wasn't Discord. Just, like, quality of everything was way worse, right? And Slam was like, we're playing a team game. And I couldn't help but notice that all I heard was chickens. And I'm like, Backed, are you okay? Are you good? And I didn't hear Backed, but I just heard his chickens. So, like, Backed was playing a team game with Slam, and there's just chickens through the mic. Funny story, man. I don't know if that's video. But that was like maybe 2013 or something. Anyways, focusing at hand here. We got MbL going for some walls. He saw the barracks early. He was, I think, paranoid it was going to be man-at-arms. And I like the eco setup. He's got the double lumber camp set up. He hasn't rushed to the next stage, but he's taking his time. I think he was a little... He definitely thought this could be man-at-arms. That gate is actually pretty costly. A little unnecessary. Actually, could be easier to break in for ACCM later. I just know I'm going to say backed by accident now because we talked about him. But yeah, that gate's a bigger target surface area to attack. MbL snags his eco upgrades and he finds out that it will be scouts for ACCM. But he's just gone for the tiny walls. So just protecting that wood and that food eco for now. Gold was always going to be hard to protect. And expected that MbL would open with the spears and skirms. This is exactly what we talked about. ACCM, though, is already walling up a lot himself. And these are better walls because it'll protect his eco a bit more. The gold could still be ranged, I guess. MbL's spear got hits on both scouts. Sorry, I think it's maybe 2 hits on just one scout. Oh, no. It was a scout hit from ACCM on MbL. So just 1 hit from both. And MbL just building up those skirms, sitting back here with the spears just in case ACCM goes through. He's almost hoping ACCM dives in. ACCM's like, yes, I'm surprising him. Uh-oh. There's a spear. There's another spear. Does he just leave now? Okay, that's funny. He's like, okay, abort. I don't want to be in there. I want to keep my scouts outside the base before everything gets walled up. A nice hit there from ACCM. He kills the scout, which is really valuable because MbL still doesn't have a lot of scouting on what's going on back here. But he does know about the gold, so like that's got to be on ACCM's mind. You need to take this gold long term to make it to Castle H. MbL always happy to produce another spear or another skirm. Still has 1 spearman behind. ACCM might be back again. ACCM just now adds the range to add a couple skirms himself. And MbL only had 1 spear this time, so he goes for the garrison. But ACCM, man, he's on the prowl right now. He is on the prowl. Like, he is locked in. He's been extremely active. But MbL adding more spears, adding more skirms here to harass a little bit. Would really like to see any of his new farms go back here now, near that mill. Just noticing a little bit of idle time for MbL. Nothing major, but villagers standing around right here, for example. So it has some warming up to do. But yeah, both players are going to have to think about how they secure their golds in the long run. The walls, though, for ACCM, they're more... These are walls that benefit you long term. MbL's walls, they're just for the start. Like, he wants to have some type of an advantage. He doesn't really have that yet. ACCM is just matched with the skirms. He's also keeping this other army over here, seeing if there's a follow-up army. ACCM's eco is 5% more efficient, but wasn't able to get horse collar because it's not cheap like it is for the Vietnamese. MbL has that. And MbL just finishing off his sheep still because he stole those sheep. And here he comes forward with another army. This is really annoying to play against. The best thing you can do to not delay your Castle Age time is to just add your own skirms if you're ACCM. Man-at-Arms is not really a great option here because you need the golds. And it's food and gold, which is precisely what you need for Castle Age. So, Pedro, I don't know what on earth that was, but hello and thank you. Hello, what? Dude, 50 gifted subs. Vote for Pedro, please. My God. Dude, Pedro, thank you so much. Dodges, salutes, and I don't know, whatever you've got in chat right now. Reminder, if you did not get a sub, do not buy a lottery ticket. It's significantly worse odds. But yeah, thank you. Damn. Well, MbL, as predicted, 11 skirms. Maybe he'll get to as many skirms in this game as Pedro just gifted subs. Maybe. Actually, with MbL, it's pretty good odds. I like this approach from MbL. You can try and wall all this up, but it just gets too messy, so First game of the tournament. You want some aggression. That tower just keeps him safe in case there's any pressure. And this allows him maybe to bring more of his army forward right now. Now, I also like it from ACCM. It's awkward, but he's ignoring this for now. He's being patient. He'll wait till he has enough skirms with some upgrades to go fight this back. And now his scouts aren't needed there at all. But MbL's ready. MbL has the spears. ACCM will see the tower now. And ACCM's getting forging. So you could snipe those spearmen pretty easily with forging. A lot of these farms are idled right now for ACCM. And he's pushed off the berries, so that's not really that great. MbL up to 13 skirms. Man, when someone gifts subs like that, and they don't even see them say anything in the chat, it's crazy. Pedro, am I missing your messages, or are you just like the dark knight of chat? Just sneakily benefiting the rest of the chat. Big fight. Big fight. Forging is in. One villager down already. There should be many more villager kills. The micro's not really there for ACCM. He just kind of let his units attack. He didn't focus fire. So it actually could have been way better for him. If he's able to focus fire, he could have killed more, but he still killed Vills. He finds a couple weak ones at the end. I mean, it sounds weird, but MbL's actually fortunate. He's very fortunate that wasn't worse for him. He does end up killing the whole army. And that was big investment for ACCM. So maybe that's actually okay for MbL at the end of the day. Because now he's got 13 skirmishers and 8 spearmen. And ACCM only has an army, a small army of skirms. So on one hand, I like it for ACCM. But on the other hand, delaying the castle age maybe won't end up being worth it here. Unfortunately, his scouts kind of got trapped in there. Which isn't what you want. But you already take damage on your scouts, so you feel like you're committed there, and you just got to take the fight. I feel like you just have to have to hope for the best there. But I mean, that if had that be 3 or 4 more villager kills, maybe he'd be happier with the investment. Sato's in chat. Sato doesn't seem to think that was worth it for ACCM. I'm looking for Pedro's messages. I'm not seeing a damn thing. Is this me being blind? Oh, there he is. Okay, I see a message. Pedro says, it reminds me of my childhood. Thanks, man. Were there this many spears and skirms in your childhood? Were the castle age times this fast in your childhood? Were there, this many civs in your childhood? Probably not, but it's, you know, it's basically the same. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I think a lot of chat is with you. Surprised that MbL isn't hoping to harass this gold a little bit more. But I mean, harassing the wood line is also great. And he'll be up to castle age a minute faster here. And dropped a couple gates here just to block the front off. 2 ranges now. And the army difference is so insane. Isn't this where the Romans should be opening with longswords? Against spears and skirms? I mean, he's going to try and go knights because that's a pro player thing to do. But I feel like the way the civ is balanced, this might actually be an opportunity to try longswords. Pedro says, what does 11 mean? Anytime someone types a number in my chat, they're typing their age of maturity, like how mature they are as an individual. So Bohm, for example, is saying that he's 11. A lot of my chat have the mental age of an 11-year-old. So, yeah, 7. Nah, I'm kidding. Pedro, it's a taunt. In-game, there's taunts for every number. So 11's laughter. So anyone with typing a bunch of 1s are laughing, essentially. We're not a cult, though, I swear. Okay? It's totally normal behavior. It's completely fine. Just like ACCM is completely fine right now. Only 7 kills in this game. Panic TC just to protect his gold. It doesn't even fully protect the gold if MbL sits behind it. But you have to start somewhere if you're ACCM. You have to kill one of these armies. I think MbL would be very happy to just siege push this town center. But again, you can still deny the gold. Like, that is a panic TC just to protect villagers. He loses 2 more villagers over here on the farms. And still has enough spearmen to help against some of these knights. MbL's in an amazing position right now. I love the patience. Just camping on the gold, just chilling. 2 town centers behind this for MbL. He is flying right now. But he does lose his spears. And if he loses the spears there, he might lose these skirms. And there are scorpions out for ACCM, which means this is fairly adaptable. And ACCM's still hanging in here. We'll be back on his golds. We'll be back on his wood. We'll be back on his farms. That's a really nice fight for him. That's just the product of MbL trying to do a lot at once right now. But yeah, there's a bunch of different taunts in AoE. They actually added more with the Definitive Edition as well. The most common ones, though, are 11 for the laugh. 14 for start the game already. I mean, those are by far the most used. We also just have yes and no for 1 and 2. And I mean, I'm not going to break down all the taunts for you, but those are the more common ones. I think a lot of people in my chat are very familiar with the you died 2 hours to... You played 2 hours to die like this. You get very familiar with that. Maybe all hail King of the Losers. Some chatters might be familiar with that as well. But yeah, it's a fun aspect of the game. A lot of scorpions there for ACCM. So ACCM able to match MbL's army pretty nicely until the Mangonel comes out. It's such a good addition from MbL. And he's not all in either. He's on 2 town centers. So it's just the perfect follow-up from MbL. And now this defense, which was starting to look good, is going to get completely cooked. Only 1 scorpion went down there, though, and then the monk goes down. But it's still not very easy for ACCM to get close to that Mangonel without sacrificing. MbL would have wanted a better engagement there, but he takes out 2 more scorpions. I mean, Roman scorpions are cheap, so you can lose them, and it's okay. But what makes scorpions strong is their mass, and it'll be tough without keeping a mass of scorpions together. T90, tell him a story about wood, please. No, come on. We're professional here, okay? We're professional. I would never. So I'll never forget when my... Never mind. I'm professional. Mangonel lands another shot on the Scorpion. This is a problem. This is a real problem. Knights will counterattack. It does feel like he needs something of value to hit MbL. I think there is a hole here, because MbL deleted that wall earlier. But MbL notices, drops the house, garrisons the town centers, continues his push on the golds. And now there's no threat on the front against these Mangonels for ACCM. And he dives in with the knights. MbL's villagers fight back. I really don't think that is what he should have done. But I don't think it matters. I think if he just kills the army, it's just like before. And now ACCM dives for the siege. MbL gets both conversions, loses 1 Mangonel, but keeps the other one alive. And just like the scouts, ACCM is going to lose his army. And MbL's army just will not die. He's got such a big, massive cav archers right now. Another hit on the Scorpions. More instances where ACCM can't take gold. Remember, his golds are super forward. Like, this is his best gold. It's honestly getting bad enough. He probably should just try and take this and hope MbL doesn't spot it. This feels like, even though ACCM's tough to kill, that MbL is going to take game number 1. The Cav Archer mass is crazy. His economy is looking crazy. And I don't know why his Cav Archers are back here patrolling the farms, but he doesn't really even need them on the front right now. We do have a light Cav. We have a crazy quick wall there from MbL. MbL's hoping to save his monks there. Nice job from ACCM. MbL's Cav Archers are not in position. They're still running around back at home. And that's a pretty big misplay from him. That the Cav Archers didn't have a reason to be there. He loses his monks and he loses his siege. Now, he still has the position. It's just a little sloppy. There's other things he's doing, right? He's snagging relics. He's adding economy. All this stuff is really important, but luckily for MbL, he already has such a nice position. It's probably still fine. His knights will find the knights over here from ACCM, and I think MbL might kill that and then loop around to the back with those soon. Love the outpost from MbL. Just so he has vision in the area. And I just don't think ACCM can do too much. He agrees, and he calls the GG. I think the key moment in this game was just the Feudal Age attack from ACCM. I mean, first off, MbL's Feudal Age opening was really interesting. He made 13 skirms, he made 11 spearmen, and he walled in a way which completely left his main gold exposed, but it kept him safe, and he harassed the economy and idled the economy from ACCM way more. ACCM did get the villager kills, but he invested a lot into those scouts and forging. He didn't kill as much as he would have wanted to. And yeah, MbL takes the first game. I also think, if we're being honest, that ACCM's map is not a map that you can really come back with. I think MbL's map, if he gets pressured, he's got a back gold to use. He's got some back wood lines. He's got some back stones. But like this gold, and this gold, as a player, you are going to tell yourself right now, the map didn't do me any favors. Hopefully I get a better map in the next game. But that's what map control does for you, right? Like, that's all because MbL had control over the game, and MbL played to the map, and MbL takes the first game. So yeah, I feel like in this matchup, ACCM's best stage as a player is maybe mid-feudal, which he did have a good position, but he didn't get the kills he needed. And then I think ACCM's best position as a player over a player like MbL is like late imp, which is kind of crazy because MbL's an amazing imp player as well. But like super late imp, ACCM might be the best because he has a never say die attitude and he's really hard to kill off. So yeah, GG. People really curious in their APM. There you have it. They look pretty much the exact same in terms of speed, it seems. The 20 eco APM, 54, 53 military APM. Maybe they're the same player. Have we ever seen them in the same room together? All right, so let me just change the colors again. There's no way these guys play with these colors. There's no way. They're trolling the other person. Okay, here we are. And okay, all right, fun game. Game number 2. I want chat to try and guess how many skirmishers we will see in this game, okay? MbL made 13 in Feudal Age last time, but then he stopped. Here we have Byzantines, cheap skirmishers, cheap camels, cheap spears. And then we have Koreans. Their spearmen and their skirmishers are also cheaper. So one of the best things you can flood in this matchup is actually lots of spears and skirms. So I'm expecting a lot. So yeah, go ahead. Say a number. And then if you get it right at the end, then we can all applaud you because you're very smart and maybe you can tell us our futures. ACCM has a pretty open map here. Same for MbL. But it's weird, right? Like, normally, if it was Byzantines against Chinese, MbL would go forward on an open map. He would go lots of spears. He would go lots of skirms. If it was Koreans against Chinese, that we would see the same from ACCM. He would go forward. Lots of spears, lots of skirms, maybe some towers. If the other Civ is really good at the same thing, do we see that? Or do they completely mind game each other? Do they try to go for scouts or something? I don't know. I know MbL likes the spears and skirms, so I don't think he'll have any complaints about it being a mirror matchup there. But map is more open than in the previous game. Someone predicts a lot. Okay, a lot? Wow, very bold of you, dude. Very bold of you. Everyone else is saying a specific number. Big prediction. Big prediction. Well played. Is Fast Castle good against spears and skirms? Fast Castle just feels really risky when the map is open, and I feel like Fast Castle is a strategy that people who are underdogs go for, right? It's high risk, high reward. I don't think either player here is going to be thinking like that. I think they're both super capable of beating the other with standard play. So, yeah, I mean, it could potentially work. Maybe you could try some type of Fast Castle shenanigans, but it just doesn't suit their play styles all that much. It's not always true. Like, the Fast Castle stuff can be used by the favorites as well. Like, Viper doing it against Topher is an example. But I would be surprised if we see it here. We're certainly not based on their builds right now. Viper said afterwards that he He didn't think his strategy was necessarily good. He thinks that his opponent made some mistakes. So I think in the highest moments of pressure, maybe we wouldn't see Viper do that with Koreans again, but with other civs, I actually think it's really strong. Berries are on a hill, beneath a hill for both players. Interesting that ACCM is taking the forward wood line instead of the back wood line. It's not that big a deal. You can always take this later. There's a player who once used to advise that you take the forward wood line first. You build up to protect it, but then if this gets towered or rushed, you always have the safe wood line to transition back to. I feel like more so these days, people never even want to be exposed, so they always go for the back wood line. The player who said that, the player who gave that tip, one of the greatest talents the game has seen, former top 10 player who you guys probably don't know about. His name is Riet. And for perspective, Riet still barely plays the game, but he recently would come back and play a series of show matches with some other Brazilians, and the dude's still insane. He's insane. He just playing with Fire and Goku and Dogao, and he's like top scorer in these games. Just nice guy, great player. Wish he was still actively playing. So 2 lumber camps for both. 19 pop for both. It's almost like they both have the builds that we had in mind. I would be shocked if we see anything but a barracks and an archery range here. But could be wrong. MbL just pushing in a deer. ACCM the same. Look, they're not even scouting each other. Like, just pushing deer and just waiting for the skirms. There's, of course, an argument to open man-at-arms if you think it's going to be a skirm war, but because they don't have any economic bonuses, it's kind of tough to pull it off. So if it was like Malians against Koreans or Persians against Koreans or something, yeah, we'd see it, but most of the civs we see that with, it's because you have bonuses. ACCM, not what he wants. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's so painful. Oh, but he will steal. Oh, he's going to steal 3 sheep. Well, that might be worth it right there. See if MbL gets that. MbL's coming home with his scout. And both players up at the same time. MbL will look for the sheep. MbL will maybe find the sheep. And so, not too big a deal in the end. And MbL goes for a stable. And then we have the archery range from ACCM. Okay. So MbL will try and go for scouts. ACCM should still try and scout this to see what's happening here. He saw the wood line. He saw the berries. He knows what the map looks like. He sees the stable. So the key with this Spearman Skirmisher Flood is you just continue to make them. You never really stop. And you want to get a couple skirms and a couple spears onto the berries or onto the wood line before the opponent can then add their own skirms. The Byzantines are really hard to surprise here because of free town watch. So there's lots of vision for MbL. And here he comes in with a forward spearman and a scout. He doesn't know yet what ACCM's going for. But now he'll see the range. I think MbL will add his own range very quickly here to try and match the skirm numbers. But good pressure from MbL. ACCM, though, defends his vills. And here we go. So MbL has to go for his own range to match the skirm numbers. And it just takes a little bit of time. And it just... Especially if the spearmen are always at home, too. It's so difficult to get your eco sorted here. When you're close together, spear and skirm is very strong. When you have bonuses with discounts like this, spear and skirm is very strong. And when your name is MbL, spear and skirm is very strong. MbL's been doing this for years with civilizations that don't even have bonuses for it. But it's all a setup for units that aren't spear and skirm. Look how quickly you're able to make them. Look how quickly this villager will go down. Nice start for ACCM. He takes the villager kill. He'll be very happy with that pressure so far. Now, he does lose the scout, but I think it's worth it. The scout's probably not going to accomplish too much. Realistically, if you had the scout, you could maybe push those skirms back. Now, a lot of players will make scouts now as a counter to the enemy skirms. But when you're Koreans, we might just see more skirms. Walls from ACCM on the wood lines just in case there's pressure. And MbL. Use this as skirmishers against the spears. Now, there's more spears from ACCM, and he was not expecting that. So it's just, yeah, it's just... In theory, MbL can use his own skirms against the spears, and then he could use his scouts against the skirms. But in practice, if there's always production from ACCM, it gets really difficult to micro. Spearman kills scouts so fast. I like this from ACCM. He's just going to continue to march forward. He's got another spear. It's only 2 scouts. MbL scouts do engage almost perfectly there, though. And there wasn't a spearman yet. And MbL's micro is well played. MbL kills the villager there. The scouts are almost dead, but now that's even. Now ACCM marches up the hill, but he marches in right with his spears. That's not what he would have wanted with an engagement. He loses, I think, 3 spears or 2 spears. And now MbL on top of this. There's a special type of micro that's required, guys. Spears and skirms are just... They're really easy to throw away with one mistake like that. And I guess it's the same with the scouts. Those scouts have to be careful. MbL backing off. Pretty good game from MbL. Pretty good game from ACCM. Farm count 13 for MbL. Farm count right now 12 for ACCM. So maybe a slight lead for MbL when thinking about resources for Castle Age. MbL microing up the hill. The fact that Koreans get the free armor on their ranged units doesn't really apply in the skirm war. That'll apply later on, though. And MbL will go with a second archer range for more skirms. Is there anyone here that could maybe do some math for me? Tell me how much a Byzantine skirmisher costs in total resources, because it's 25% less. And then tell me how much a Korean skirmisher costs with it being 50% less wood. No, not meth. I would not advise you do meth. I'm saying math. Really, I wouldn't advise you do math either, but because, you know, I don't like math, but I'm curious. I think it's got to be really close. I'm just curious whose benefits there. MbL scouts get some value. Wall isn't up on the backside yet from ACCM, and MbL holding it home with the skirms. Getting another villager snipe. Like, this is exactly what MbL would have wanted to see. Like, oh, a skirm war after seeing the first game? Yeah, he'll love that. But he doesn't have fletching yet. His blacksmith isn't completed yet. ACCM does have fletching, and ACCM has the skirmisher lead. So as the scouts are still running around and the scouts are coming home, they're coming home in desperation, and MbL was way too relaxed here. Way too relaxed here. He needed those upgrades a whole lot faster, and ACCM charges the hill, kills off the skirms. That's enough skirmishers to be a real problem for MbL, and the scouts have come home. Those scouts are not going to be enough. Against this many skirms, there's no way. 18 military versus 5. MbL probably assumed, because he was on 2 range, that this was going to be fine, but he was not producing like ACCM, and ACCM's going for the kill. MbL's fighting back with villagers now. It's all he has to try and match this. And his production of skirmishers is going to be right behind, but the efficiency for MbL's economy is just brutal right now. And villagers will die to skirms when the numbers are this high. This looks so good for MbL until it didn't. Now his woodline needs to be abandoned as well. Villagers are idle everywhere. ACCM chilling big time. 9 more skirmishers in queue. Hasn't killed that many vills. But MbL has to match this in some way, or it's just going to be an awful feudal age. Nice job from him, I guess, not to lose much. ACCM knows there could be more scouts. But yeah, this many scouts is just not enough against this group of skirms. All right, to the guy who did the math, I can tell you are really into math because it's a massive paragraph. I don't have enough time to read all those sentences. Could we have a simplistic post for me, please? That just says the total resources for both players, just for my brain right now. Thank you so much, Schweit. Make it easier for me, please. 45 total for Biz, 47 for Koreans. Oh my god, thank you. That's what I was hoping for. Thank you for the full breakdown, though. I'm sure some people in chat will appreciate that. So really, what ACCM should do now is he should just wait for Castle Age. He should be taking his time to wall up. This is still open, which is kind of awkward. Get to Castle Age. MbL has to spend more resources to match your army. And so as MbL does that, you're hoping you beat him to Castle Age, and then you beat him to the upgrades here. And just taking MbL off of gold is really nice there, especially because MbL might need the market to adapt in this situation. MbL still, though, just doesn't have exactly what he needs, and it will be a lot of calm micro here from ACCM. He's got nothing to worry about at home. Realistically, this hole bothers me. This hole bothers me. The fact that it's there makes me think that maybe ACCM is struggling to maintain some of the focus he might need. But I still really like this position. MbL's starting to get good numbers, so maybe ACCM just slowly backs off over time. And I also see a barracks for ACCM. I don't think that's for more spearmen, guys. I think he's going to make some fire lancers. A lot of people think fire lancers are overpowered right now. It's a new unit. And you don't need to get an upgrade for them. You just need to be in Castle Age. And they have really good stats. We might even see a siege tower as well. Because the siege tower spam has been real. And they, of course, nerfed the siege towers. And people have been spamming them. They move ridiculously fast, and it's a pretty good unit to roll around with into MbL's base. MbL happy to fight the skirm war. He's going triple range now. Nice shot from him, though. I mean, really nice shot for him to stabilize this. The unfortunate thing is if he just had fletching and 1 or 2 more skirms, the rest of this game is different. And this is where getting that additional armor upgrades on the skirms is actually really nice. Now it really matters. I'd say that ACCM should win this game. But does he know where he can apply some pressure right now? I think he wanted a siege workshop there, but now MbL's skirms were maybe considering going forward. MbL can't just wall like this against the skirms. ACCM could just dive. If ACCM runs through here, it could be game over. But it could go the other way. He could throw the game, I guess. You're worried about that, running underneath the town center, but I personally would not worry about this position at all, and I'd be slowly microing my way through there. And then my micro is not like ACCM's, and then I lose my units, and then I throw the game, and I start to tilt at home, and then I forget a siege tower, and then I lose. And that's why I don't belong here. But it's not important what would happen for me. ACCM taking the patient approach. He's still idling the eco. Quite a few weak villagers over there from MbL. And he's just forcing MbL to shift around way more than MbL was hoping for. And here come these Fire Lancers. And the Fire Lancers and Rocket Cart now on the front for ACCM. He's really just pressuring the wood lines right now. MbL can't easily take any of his wood lines. He's had to shift over here now, too. But I think ACCM senses that wood is the main concern. Love how patient the play is right now for ACCM. Feels like ballistics could be good for both with this many skirms. But also, I'd like to see ACCM focus on the economy a little bit more. But that's not how ACCM thinks. ACCM's a bit more aggressive than that. You actually see a ram out of his siege workshop as well. But he has to be careful. There's a lot of units he needs to control here. In some cases, I wouldn't mind a tower here. A tower along the front with Koreans feels like it makes a lot of sense, with the guard tower upgrade being free. But yeah, being patient, still keeping MbL on the move. And now the siege is on the front too, so MbL's production from the skirms, this will be tough. I'd say a siege workshop would make sense for MbL. Still running around here, ACCM. Ram will start to take down these archer ranges, which means MbL's production could grind to a halt. MbL does have more skirmishers. He is taking a good fight here, at least. So I think ACCM's a little distracted on this side. He's not distracted. He just has most of his numbers here. getting the value. He'll lose the skirms over on this side, but he still has the army here, and he's taking down the archer ranges now. MbL needs a big mangonel hit to stabilize this. If you still have 2 ranges, you're okay. But if you fall down the 1 range, this gets really awkward. If you lose this hill, it gets really awkward. You can't lose this hill right now. Camels are cheap for Byzantines, but not a unit you want out in the field against skirmishers and fire lancers. It's probably maybe one of the worst units MbL could consider after Spearmen right now. And MbL takes down the rocket cart. Still, he will only be on 1 archer range, and those rams paid off already for ACCM. I'm just not a big fan. Generally speaking, I'm not a very big fan of rams in this situation, though. Because the rams don't have benefit beyond taking down the buildings. If you went for 3 rocket carts instead of 1 rocket cart and 2 rams, it takes you a little bit longer to take down the buildings, but then you can still fight back here. Oh boy, we got a taxi. We got a taxi. Siege tower. How do you get in close? You taxi him in with the siege towers. New meta. He'll take that down. He can get back inside the siege tower, run around. MbL kills his own units there. Whoops. He's under so much pressure, but he is counterattacking right now. And I don't know if ACCM will be thinking about that because there's so much happening here. This counterattack could slowly pay off if MbL can just hold here for a minute. He needs a big shot again with his mangonel on these skirmishers. And ACCM did notice this, which means he's distracted. And there it is. And MbL misses the shot. MbL misses the shot. That was some great micro from ACCM. But MbL's still alive, still holding on here. The freaking siege tower might go down. He's still making a lot of skirms. He does have mangonels, and ACCM has some headaches back at home. So, man, well played to MbL. I feel like he should be so dead right now. I think ACCM, he won't regret the siege tower, but I think he will regret those 2 rams. Because he, you know, as I said, he could have been on the hill with multiple rocket carts. That could have had a bigger effect. ACCM will make skirms to counter the skirms. Or I guess match the skirms. He will shift some villas to stone, which feels important now. Because again, he could be building some towers. He's thinking about where do you pressure here? Where do you hold? This is rather awkward. You do have your own hill here, but if you advance any further forward, MbL has the hill. And MbL can also see you from a really long distance away because he's Byzantines. The golds seem pretty important in the middle on this left side. Gold here, and gold over on the left side now too. So he's shifting his army over there. But MbL can see that from a mile away. And ACCM doesn't know that MbL is going to be there. You feel like there's going to be some value because MbL doesn't have protection there. So now MbL will defend from another hill. But here comes another siege tower. And it's just ridiculous, dude. This is just the stupidest thing. It's crazy what we're seeing. But hello, taxi service. Did somebody order a siege tower? And the siege tower rolls in. 1 mangonel goes down. So far, that's it, though. The siege tower will go down. And 2 mangonels survive, so MbL had built a TC here to protect. I guess he's okay, but he is behind by 15 villagers. I mean, what the Byzantines do have... Oh, at least 3 TCs now for MbL. What the Byzantines do have, though, is the Byzantines do have the cheaper Imperial age. So, as there's still camels from MbL, I really don't understand why he's making camels, but I guess they're cheap. That would be the main reason. Actually could take a rocket cart if he's paying attention there. Yeah, he sees it. He'll want the rocket cart. He takes that. If he keeps moving, he can maybe get another one. A lot of eco needs to be stabilized right now for MbL. Both players 3 town centers. When does ACCM consider towers or a castle here? It's tough. You might want a tower first to just protect your castle spot because there's so much siege. Look at the difference in vision. ACCM's running into darkness. MbL sees the whole world right now. MbL's God. Well, not really God, but, you know, he could see everything as it comes out across the map. And with MbL's unit control, he lands a beautiful attack ground that ACCM couldn't see coming. MbL is waiting for ACCM to send it and force the issue right now. It's possible ACCM could overextend. This is about to get crazy. But yeah, see, I like this tower. I think this is a great call because this could protect your future castle spot. Or you just continue to tower. You don't need to go for the castle. ACCM has another siege tower taxi. Choo-choo! Choo-choo! Attack ground from MbL. Camels are there from MbL. Actually, he's taking down the tower. MbL's dealt with this pretty nicely here. The tower is pretty weak. But now the tower has gone up. A real tower has gone up for ACCM, not a siege tower. And yeah, siege tower will go down. Lancers will hop out, but they just want the mangonel, and that's worth it for ACCM. ACCM loses his rocket cart, but another guard tower is going up, and MbL lands a crazy shot. 2 crazy shots. I mean, ACCM's going to lose virtually everything here, and MbL is on the way to the Imperial Age. That was crazy. First big shot from MbL, but he is still under pressure here. He is still behind in bills, and there is still more pressure coming. If this tower goes up for ACCM, it completely shuts down any siege defense from MbL. MbL can't let that tower go up. He needs to stop that. He hops out, and ACCM will bail for now. The Fire Lancers are in the back. They're disrupting the eco. MbL, again, is on the way to the Imperial Age. He's holding. He's got a bigger army of skirms now. He will have imp upgrades on the skirms, which is maybe good. But yeah, another mangonel goes down. He's lost so many mangonels to these Lancers. I think ACCM will try and tower and castle the left right now. He's thinking maybe where will MbL get stone. And he could tell that MbL's probably going to go over here. So I think he might go tower just to get over there. It might also be a castle, but he doesn't have an army to protect it. The positioning's nice for ACCM, but the lack of army could be a concern. He's trying another tower. MbL's killing the villagers here. A really nice shot from MbL to hold considering the circumstances. If ACCM drops a castle, MbL can bring the skirms over right now. MbL still has a lot of work to do. Oh my god, dude! What is that? What is that? ACCM dropping a castle on his face. He sees that MbL is an imp, so he knows he needs something. And MbL has reacted by doing absolutely nothing. He doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. I don't know how he doesn't see it. I assumed his skirms would come over here, but okay, now he sees it. Now he needs to run. The pressure from ACCM on the right side is definitely paid off. And that castle's huge. That castle's crazy. And it can just set up so much more, right? He can take the stone. He can drop towers too. MbL's in the Imperial Age, but he's got a long road to fight this back. It seems like his plan is to make bombard cannons. I actually think it's winnable. If he can get to 3 or 4 bombard cannons with these skirms. So he's just kind of holding the line. He's done a great job at preventing more towers from completing here. And bombard cannons are on the way. ACCM needs to go imp. He needs to stall out production. He needs to click up to the Imperial Age. Because there he can get keep for free. And keeps a game changer. Especially against bombard cannons. What a messy game right now. We were right on the skirmishers. I still can't wait to see how many skirmishers were produced in total. But yeah, slowly ACCM creeping in with more towers. But now MbL has his first bombard cannon. Which I guess maybe ACCM's plan will be to go snipe that with the siege tower technique again. MbL losing some villagers over on the left side to some wagons and some fire lancers. ACCM's got outposts all along there. Maybe more outposts on the right could be good too. Yeah, MbL is preemptively building a stone gate or two here because he's scared about the siege tower. It's that strong. 2.5 minutes for ACCM to hold this position. But bombard cannons are a game changer. For ACCM to get the bombard cannons, he needs to wait the 2.5 minutes to get to Imp, then the 2 minutes it takes to research chemistry, and then he can make them. That is a long time. Now, he is getting Upsiong, so his towers will have more range. It won't be more range than the bombard cannons until he's an Imp, though. So that tower will go down. Tech is going to complete here in a second. MbL can never lose a bombard cannon. MbL can never lose his skirms. Yipseong, now you've got... Actually, do they match bombard cannon range in Castle Age? They do, don't they? It's 12 range now. But, I mean, MbL has enough bombard cannons and Bracer has less damage output, so... It's still not enough right now for ACCM to hold this position. He's trying the occasional tower on the left side, which MbL will see and snipe again. Still think MbL has some chances here because he's got some really nice army momentum. I think ACCM, though, still has 30 skirms. MbL is only regaining ground that he probably should have had controlled in the first place, if not for some good work from ACCM. And ACCM is, or I guess, yeah, I think I said that correctly. ACCM will just drop some towers as a follow-up. He's now an Imp. Now he gets Keep. And now he goes for Elite Fire Lancer. He goes for the armor upgrade. He will also get Bracer. His skirms will be able to match MbL. And he will probably eventually get Chemistry. But MbL's cleaned this up. He's turned this into a game, which is incredible because I thought he was dead in Feudal Age. A lot of the Twitch chatters thought he was dead as well. There was a lot of GGs called at that time. So how on earth we made it to Imp is beyond me. MbL with some quick walls. Siege Tower will get shot down. Fire Lancers will be elite, so they're much stronger harder to deal with now. And MbL takes down another tower. MbL's pressuring the castle now. He might even be able to take the Treb. Fire Lancers are really tanky now. So, like, before skirms were okay, but you've got... Man, this unit's crazy. You get 6 Pierce Armor, and it's a counter to Cav as well. The unit doesn't cost food. It's a really strong unit. And oh my god. We've got the Siege Tower Taxi continuing, and they roll into the Bombard Cannons, and they're elite now, so... I think now the Bombard Cannons can actually go down. Annoying for MbL to deal with this crap. His whole army has to fall back here. MbL really needs something other than Skirm. He really needs cannons, but he doesn't have his map. He doesn't have his gold. And the Fire Lancers are too strong, guys. It's a really good unit. And MbL has to tap out. ACCM held the map control. I think Feudal Age was kind of key for him. He had so much control headed to Castle Age. He had to work really hard this game to eventually kill MbL. But he held the whole map. Loved the castle on the left side. I mean, he was way behind to the Imperial Age, but he was way ahead with map control. And even though it was the 7-minute difference there, it took MbL a very long time to eventually be able to get the siege to mass it back. Siege towers played their role. The cheap skirmishers from Koreans played their role. The towers played their role. Nice response there from ACCM. And we have ourselves a series here. But yeah, I mean, from MbL... If you're wondering where things went wrong, the thing he'll look back to is, like, everything was fine. He was in the better position, but he was just later to the second archer range, and he was super late with the upgrades. Now, what I don't fully understand is he didn't open with skirms initially. He knows his opponent had the second range because he scouted it before, right? So he scouted this a long time ago. Like, a long time ago. And then... So you should know you're going to be outnumbered, and then he was just really late with the blacksmith. Now, honestly, maybe it's not really a decision thing. He doesn't have the resources for it, and then soon after he places the blacksmith. Yeah, so he was actually going with the timings that were possible for him. But yeah, anyways, GG, well played. That fight was huge. MbL stayed in Castle Age far longer than he wanted to. I'm surprised he wasn't killed then. Well played to ACCM, and we move on. All right, this is the last time I'm complaining about the colors. Hold me to that. But I hate it. I hate the fact I have to change this every single time. Game number 3. We got Berbers for ACCM. I'm pumped to see the Berbers, man. I feel like we haven't seen Berbers played much at all. And then we got the Vikings, which we have seen a lot from. Not just from MbL, but from other civs. Vikings, the core of it is their economy. Free wheelbarrow, free handcart gives them a very nice lead if they get through Feudal Age without taking many losses. I think one of the best approaches you can have against the Vikings, at least in Castle Age, is to play all in. Play aggressive, play 1 TC, and Berbers could be pretty good there. Cheaper stable units, gives you the opportunity maybe to go for siege, night push. MbL's base, pretty easy to wall up. But ACCM wants to consider a lame here, and MbL wants to consider a lame as well. This is a villager that was just about to build a house. MbL wants the villager kill. Will MbL get the villager kill? He won't. There's actually 2 more hits there for him to kill that, and he knew the TC was close by. But look at what happened. ACCM veered back with his scout to go save his vill, maybe, instinctually, and now he's missing the boar. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, he never comes back with that scout like that. That was just a pure reaction. Whoa, wait a second. Wait a second. We got vills going forward. All right, so I was wondering if this would happen. So here's something that's important here. So recently, they removed all the wolves from this map. Per player feedback, the players were sick of their militia running into wolves. The reason that devs, when this game was introduced, added wolves to the map is so if people were wandering around with villagers going for cheesy tactics, there would be a downside to it. But there's no wolves now. ACCM has slightly faster villagers with the Berbers. He gets Loom. MbL didn't see this, and we've got a vill fight here from ACCM. Can he kill a villager? Obviously, killing a villager would be huge. MbL is going to be getting Loom. MbL's scout, though, villager able to get away. And ACCM says, hey, bro, don't mind me. Just going to wall up your lumber camp real quick. And then I'll be moving on. Guys, MbL doesn't see the boar. MbL doesn't see the boar. ACCM doesn't see the boar. How does he not see the boar? Nobody sees the boar. So as far as MbL is concerned, he is boarless. Now he's trying to steal sheep to recover not having that boar. And there, okay, now ACCM sees the boar. Now, do you kill it with your vills? Or do you try and take it home? Looks like he's looking for damage right now. Looks like he wants some kills. He's looking to see if MbL's on wood, because MbL's not on wood around this lumber camp. But he's come too early. Had he been here a little bit faster, he would have noticed, or a little bit later, he would have noticed that. Over here, MbL has killed a goat with his scout. MbL is still trying to take these home. It actually could have been ACCM that's killing the goats, so MbL doesn't take it. And goats switch back to ACCM. Now MbL goes back to steal them. MbL's still on the wood line, and ACCM doesn't see he's on the wood line, or can't do anything about it yet. These 2 vills kill the deer. We've got Lame City here from ACCM, who so far is doing okay, but he really needed those goats. He really needed those goats. That's nice for MbL. Oh, God, and now MbL found his boar, and now MbL's bringing in the boar. I actually think MbL's going to be okay here. If everything else happened and he didn't have the boar, I wasn't really sure, but he gets the boar. ACCM doesn't have some of his sheep. ACCM's villagers have been walking a lot. So I wouldn't expect the same builds or anything, but MbL has more villagers around than ACCM. He can always just rotate in some fresh ones. MbL's scout comes home. I feel like ACCM should have tried to kill that boar. Like, wall in the villager, shoot the boar down, so at least the boar died out here or something. Easy for me to say, but I'm wondering how the food income is going to look for ACCM. Those goats are looping around the long way, too. There's no way he'll intercept that. Oh, God, he's committed. So he knows he can't make it to Feudal, and when you can't make it to Feudal, you stay in Dark Age forever. Boxing gloves are on. We've got the mod on. Villager fight will continue for a while. I think MbL also will understand. When someone has 5 villagers here, you got to send 6. You got to stay in Dark Age. It will be a full Dark Age battle. MbL's villager's super weak. MbL's not lost a unit yet. But the Berber villager's a little bit faster. MbL trying to save him. Run. Run. MbL's blocking with the scouts. This is so good from MbL. That's so good from MbL. He's made it look so easy. And now he wants to trap the Vills. And he can't. I think ACCM needs to Vill fight again. I think he needs more Vills. I think he needs more people. Because, like, he can't go up to Feudal. He has no food. So, yeah, and I love the adaptation from MbL to stay in Dark Age as well. He also doesn't really have the food, to be honest. He's got 3 healthy Vills against 4 weak ones. Maybe it's still possible with the speed for ACCM to get a kill or save his own villager here. MbL's scout is weak here. And MbL's scout will try and distract just so that villager can survive. That's another save for MbL. I'm not seeing any more Vills from ACCM. He will get 100 and something food from this deer, and then maybe he can idle and click up. So I uploaded a video. I think it was in 2022. It was the most annoying player of 2022. And Berber villagers were faster then. They nerfed it since. But villagers, I think, used to be 10% faster in Feudal, and now I think it's 5%. Or in Dark Age, I think it's like 5% now. Does it say? It's staggered, right? Yeah, 5% faster in Dark Age, 10% in Feudal. So they changed this so the Vill fighting isn't quite as strong. Nice job from MbL to adapt to this. Villagers are headed home for ACCM, but ACCM will be in Feudal faster. Yeah, the name of the player who is in that video is named Don Cabron. Oh, I mean, sorry, Beery. Beery. Very annoying. I had the wrong player in my mind for whatever reason, sorry. So, 4 on gold for MbL. He's probably expecting villagers to be exposed. He's going to make militia. And ACCM doesn't have any scouting. And now ACCM is going back forward. So, the other villagers made it home. They're a little weak, but they get sent to a nice farm. And they're like, damn, you're telling me I have to go forward on a pilgrimage before I get given a farm? All right, I'm on board. So they think this is going to be great. They think this is going to be a good idea. Will he see the barracks? He's going to nope out of here so fast, dude. He's going to run away so fast. Ah! Panic! 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 No! Pick up your baskets, run away. That is not what he wanted to see here. He was hoping MbL did not have the eco for that. And that was for a forward archer range, for some skirms probably. I mean, ACCM's in Feudal, so his Vills are a little faster, luckily. But yeah, Man-at-Arms is a big problem for him. So he falls back. MbL is going to come forward now. MbL will build an archer range. And MbL is getting Man-at-Arms. He will have 5 Man-at-Arms with Vikings. And he's still got that scout around. So the scout saw the archer range. He has got a nice tour of ACCM's base. This will be extremely difficult for ACCM. MbL has just played so patient here against this pressure, guys. Everyone's always thinking about the fastest Feudal Age builds possible, right? And if you still try that after you get rushed like this, you make it to Feudal Age and you have nothing. But MbL took his time. He added a bunch of Dark Age farms. He just embraced the chaos. And now he'll drop a tower behind the wood line. He'll have his own archers. Not much ACCM can really do about that tower right now. He does not see it. And look at his eco. Look at how little straggler trees are left. He is getting town watch right now, but it'll be a little late. The tower will complete ahead of time. He doesn't see this wood line. So he would have to go to this wood line if he needs another wood line. This is going to get really difficult to control. He sees a tiny little tree here, but he doesn't actually see... Oh, now he sees it. Okay, so now he knows about that at least. But the tower comes at the perfect time for MbL, and ACCM doesn't feel like he can go anywhere else because there's Man-at-Arms and archers around. So he'll drop his own tower. Could take some losses here. He will desperately run out this way, maybe to the wood line. He's walled out the man-at-arms on this side. He could maybe snipe that archer, but MbL's still hovering around. MbL will see this, and again, he'll be very happy because he's Vikings. His eco is more efficient. MbL loses an archer and loses his scout there, but his tower's done enough so far, in my opinion. MbL should be immediately thinking, okay, where does he take wood? Where is he taking wood? He should check here, or he should check here. Realistically, you're thinking here because this is where ACCM has army right now. And the army would normally protect that area, but he's down here. And, oh, he doesn't even have the wood for a lumber camp. Oh, no, dude. Oh, God, no. It was so bad. No. Pain. Pain. I've seen in these situations, if someone has auto farm reseed, the farmer rebuild their farm right in this moment. It's so painful when that happens. But he doesn't have it toggled on. He does shoot down MbL's tower. He is going for a counterattack at MbL's base. But look at MbL. He's playing old school style. Built some outposts at home. So he could see this coming. MbL's got to be so confused. Watch, when he comes in here, he should see the trees been chopped. Though it's not as obvious as I thought it would be. MbL will run from the gold. MbL's forward archer range makes defending awkward. He goes for a couple quick walls. The skirms need to come home now. Still really liking MbL's economy. He's collected 1,500 more resources. Look at the eco balance right now for ACCM. 26 on wood. Bro. This is so far from balanced. It's just a bit weird to me that MbL is going back out to the gold right now. Like he's losing track a little bit. He should not be losing a villager there. He knows that. He already has skirms out, so skirms could be over here. He only has one skirm. But he's probably still confused and focused on the front because he just can't find ACCM's villagers anywhere. But now he sees a tower. He's distracted at home. His man-at-arms go into the TC. He's still distracted at home. ACCM holds on. ACCM's range units can defend himself. ACCM will have a tower. He probably needs a market to balance out the eco. This is one of those games that if someone makes it to Castle Age and goes for knights, it's just GG. Because the bases are so open. There's no way to protect yourself from knights. No easy way. Doesn't have to be knights, obviously. It could also be crossbow, but I know MbL, and I would be shocked if he doesn't add a stable here. Ah, that would have been epic timing. He's going for a barracks. Well, I mean, infantry's awesome with the Vikings. He already has enough infantry. And longsword is a pretty solid option as well. You can actually make the units before you're in Castle Age, unlike with knights. I think it makes some sense here for MbL. He says, I'm not going to make Viking knights. So MbL, the Viking from Norway, embracing his inner Viking here. And, yeah, I really struggle to see what ACCM can try here. Maybe tower defense is enough. His eco's looking way better now. He's just going to need to hold from this. But for now, he has enough range units to probably do that. But in Castle Age, it could look a bit different. Tower defense is good against infantry, though. It's not so good against knights. It works against infantry. Wondering if MbL will go for a forward siege workshop. Even a defensive siege workshop to mix in some... maybe make a siege tower and give ACCM a taste of his own medicine could work. Yeah, man-at-arms just not very good against archers. But longswords could be. MbL will have 2 barracks. MbL's also got a ridiculous economy, so he could also be on 2 town centers. Viking economy, and just the way MbL has managed this, just so impressive. That was a lot of early pressure. ACCM clicks Castle Age as MbL arrives in Castle Age. Yikes. And MbL, I think a little paranoid. ACCM is going to attack him right now. I think he's looking for this army. He didn't see it. That's why his army's home. And we are going to have another siege tower. The siege tower taxi. And yet another game. Choo-choo. Longswords incoming into the base. It's so commonplace now. And to be clear, all the players think this is the most ridiculous, stupid thing ever. But if you can't beat them, join them is the saying, right? You got to do it. You got to do it. Like, it's so fast. And there's no better use to get underneath towers and to make infantry that quick. Like, you just can outrun. It feels like virtually everything. They're not actually faster than a knight, but... Hey, here we go. Now, MbL's intuition was correct. That is about as sneaky as you can be if you're ACCM. He went to the edge of the map, but MbL expected it. MbL sees it. And MbL can match this and kill this. And here comes the siege tower. ACCM wants knights. ACCM can't make them yet because he's not in the next stage. And hello! Delivery! Out of the tower, back into the tower. The towers just don't... The towers have 100 pierce armor, so... The arrow fire could not matter less for ACCM right now from these towers. When you tell someone you're going for a tower rush, this is what they think you're talking about. But in 2025, this is what you're talking about. Out of the tower. MbL bops down a veil. Whoop! Right back in. Back into the tower. Supersonic speed. Over to the wood line. Okay, all right. I'm just going to take a look. See what you're going to do in there. Can I get through? No. Well played. You quick walled it. Whoop! I'm out of here. MbL's army still chasing this down. Amazing that ACCM kept those units alive. And MbL is just transports over the wall. That's actually what they're meant for. He hops over the wall. Says, you quick walled out my siege tower. That's funny. And he kills more villagers. He will maybe lose his tower, though. And he could lose his longswords because now the tower isn't there to protect. And there's a lot of extra army on the side from MbL that he isn't protecting either. So knights beat longsword in a 1v1. MbL's units are going down. This is adaptable for ACCM. He could maybe hold on here. And MbL probably a little worried as the score flips and ACCM holds, guys. ACCM holds. MbL will need to play full defense now. He's lost his whole army. He did kill Vils, but he didn't kill a lot. Really, the key for him is his economy. He's got the second TC up with farms around it already. Great town center position. And then he has this town center position, and he's going to stone. I think in MbL's mind, he is fully expecting this to be a siege push from ACCM, and the stone is for guard tower. But this whole army goes down as well. MbL has not gotten the value he wanted. This is where Berbers can shine. The cheap knights can feel really strong here. But MbL will have pikemen. MbL will have monks as well, but has to be very careful. Even the additional range units from ACCM can still help against a couple pikes and a couple monks. And ACCM knows he's behind an eco, so he wants the kills. He'll go in, he'll kill one monk, he'll kill the second monk. He could kill the third monk, and then he can run away, but there's too many town centers. But yeah, killing 3 monks there is really good. That's really good value from those units. MbL's gold is super exposed. This will require a lot of quick walling from MbL. He gets them down. That's crazy quick walling from MbL. But a lot of idle time as well. Still banking up the stone, though. Still thinking about a castle. Still making some more monks. Still has some army around. 25. Or sorry, not 25, but 16 eco lead for MbL. But it soon still should be 20. I want to see ACCM go for the siege workshop. I want to see him go big army and then a castle on the front. But maybe it's too late. Feels like MbL would see that coming. It feels like MbL is on stone heavy enough where he will have his own castle faster than ACCM. Camel Archer feels like a really strong unit here too. So maybe you play more defensive style. Maybe you think Berbers is the better civ long term. And maybe you just focus on defending once you get to Camel Archer. And you don't exactly win games with pikemen a lot. Pikemen just keep you in a game. So MbL's defending. He is going to make archers now though. I like overall how ACCM's played, but I just think MbL has been able to shrug off any of these attacks, and he's made it look very easy. What you can't have, though, is you can't have 3 pikes like this. They just die so quickly to the knights. Against a good player like that with micro, ACCM will always get the kill. Beautiful job. That'll be 4 pikemen killed. And that one knight that's weak will go back home to heal up with the monks as well. Where is MbL right now? He's not reacting. Loses a couple more vills to the knights. He does have enough stone for a castle. He will lose another monk, but he gets a conversion at least. Almost feels like MbL is going to go forward castle right now. But he doesn't know there's siege. Like, not knowing there's siege is crazy. I mean, it's not crazy because he hasn't been able to advance out, but I mean, it's a big deal. My intuition says that he wants forward castle on this hill. But he needs to see the siege and realize that's not an option for him. Crossbows defend this side. Oh, what? Bro, ACCM's trying to loop around. Oh, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Big attack here. Nice damage from MbL, but this town center is going to get denied. ACCM wanted to loop around the edge of the map there. So some great damage there from ACCM. He also converts the knight back. He does lose his siege, but he'll clear this army. MbL never expected there to be knights there. That's really unlucky. MbL's struggling to maintain his army mass. And dude, to lose a fight and go for this castle is crazy, but he did take down the mangonel. A lot of the knights are up here, so they're not where he needs to be. MbL just built a lumber camp on 3 stumps. We'll go back to that. I don't even know if that will pay off, but he needs to complete this castle. Does ACCM see it? He does see it. He's making a ram, not a mangonel, so he can't deny it. He could bring in his army. These other armies over here. MbL will get 1 conversion. That's it, though. And then here, MbL will get a conversion. 2 conversions. The castle will complete. That puts ACCM under a lot of pressure. And he really needs a wood line, so that town center is not too bad. And I actually think making berserks is not too bad for MbL, too. Luckily, he still has a lot of crossbows at home. With ballistics now, so the crossbows can probably deal with the raids. And berserks are a solid enough unit to consider here. They're very cheap. MbL's had some idle time, but his army count is starting to grow right now. And ACCM is going to need a switch. I think he's going to try Camel Archer and Knights. But MbL is not on the way to the Imperial Age. Sometimes when you see this, you think it's Imp, but... Oh, God. I mean, MbL's got the right idea. He can't be surprised by the siege, so he wants the vision there, but... Feels like it's going to be so tough for him to push up this hill. What a game. ACCM's got all the mobility. Nice find on the right side here to find some extra gold. And he feels like the siege and the monks are enough to defend for now. So he's heading out with the knights this way. But I bet you he wishes he had the knights here. Because now castle number 2 for MbL. This will take away both these golds from ACCM if it completes. And I think it will complete. Knights are coming through. They do have the armor now. MbL has left some of his crossbows at home, though. But that's +2 knights against the crossbows. MbL's TC's garrisoned. His crossbows will hit and run. This is probably okay for him. The key for MbL is he always has town centers to add more vills, so... He doesn't lose too many there. He can always hop right inside the next TC. ACCM is thinking about the Imperial Age. The Knights make it over here. More garrison time for MbL. But still balancing out that eco. MbL could build another castle soon, by the way. He's got so many armies to track. The Knights are running on the edge of the map. I won't ask Artie to add a treadmill because I'm nice. Artie's been putting a lot of work. We don't need any unnecessary edits today. Maybe tomorrow, but... house walls from MbL. Well played. Really well played. That's crazy. He should kill this army now. So, you'll kill off the knights. Oh, God. He is going for another castle here. So, it'll be 3 castles for MbL. He's got 40 crossbows. But, what is that army accomplishing right now? It's just cleaning up raids in his base. It's delaying his Imperial Age to make all this army and to have to stabilize so frequently. He needs to get to the Imperial Age. It'll be 2 castles for ACCM. ACCM can treb the castles from MbL down. And ACCM is kind of okay without the army lead, from my perspective. He's also okay without this gold for now. At least because he has the gold here. Well played from ACCM. Now, ACCM is making Genitors. A mounted skirm, for those that have never seen this. They're a good unit. You do need a good eco to mass them. It's also a good unit if you think you're going to run out of gold. Because right now, this is the only safe gold he has long-term. And that might even be denied. Me saying that Genitors is a good unit is... Let's just say that I'm saying that just assuming that the person who created the Genitor is maybe watching. I've never had a lot of success with them. I feel like I prefer to make regular skirms. Because regular skirms just... I don't know, they've given me better results, but it is a way to get a lead with the Berbers. It is a unique thing that you should probably try. MbL should probably cancel this castle. This is a crazy castle to continue to place when your opponent is in the Imperial Age. MbL is just a madman. He takes down the Mangonel. He might complete his castle. Meanwhile, over here, his crossbows are getting raids and killing some vills. He is 200 pop. But he doesn't have relics. And he's still not an imp. So he's going to lose castles. But I guess if you lose half your castles, that means you still have 2. So then maybe you're okay. Here are the Genitors now. The best thing you can play as Vikings here is probably Champion. It would normally be Berserks. But when your castles are exposed like this, you can't go for Berserk. You probably need to go out of the barracks instead. The Genitors are doing their thing. The Genitors are starting to clean up. And MbL, I mean, he's got forward eco here. All this stuff is exposed. I think ACCM needs a castle. Okay, well, there we go. He's going to build a castle right here. ACCM's locked in right now, guys. This is perfect. Like, he no hesitation. He had 650 stone, immediately drops the castle to protect these golds. His Genitor upgrades are flying in. He takes down 1 castle already. He's about to take down the 2nd. MbL will have some real issues here. The crossbows are just not good enough against Genitors. These aren't even fully upgraded. You can also get the elite version. MbL loading up the siege towers. Feels like this is the only way to get close to the trebs. Siege tower that he used to get the lead earlier, but he just lost so much of his army once the tower went down. I mean, if he can just snipe the trebs and hold here for a minute, it gives him a lot of time to balance out his eco and address things. But it feels like he's going to be raided so heavily. And then Camel Archer with Genitor feels pretty sick here. Also, even just Hussar. Hussar's pretty cheap. There's elite Genitor, sorry, for ACCM. And yeah, MbL has no defensive castles or towers because he went on the front. There's trebuchets everywhere from ACCM. Here comes the siege tower. A little choo-choo. Don't think it's going to be enough. Maybe he takes 1 treb. But at what cost does he take 1 trebuchet? I guess it depends on if he can hop in and get out of here. MbL doesn't see this because he's so used to the palisades on the minimap. That little red dot on the minimap has been here the whole game. So next level from ACCM, he just stands there. MbL will never think anything's changed. I say that because I've been casting and I keep looking at those palisades. I keep getting super annoyed with that. I got used to it being there. Finally, MbL notices. MbL making a move for the castle from ACCM on the gold here. ACCM did lose his relics a moment ago. But he'll take down the tower. Once the tower is down, he'll win the fights here with Camel Archer. The Genitors are still running around. They're so mobile. Here again, MbL could lose a castle, but he's using the siege tower to block the castle fire. He takes all the trebs. Wow, that was crazy. He takes all the trebs, and he's still attacking ACCM's castle here. He still has to chase down the Genitors over here. But maybe MbL can do this. Maybe he can keep it up. I feel like he needs skirms right now. Another castle from MbL? Here? And he'll wheel his trebs over. He feels if he takes down the castles, he can win this game. Camel archers are so key for the Berbers. MbL knows as well, like, he's got to send it because this matchup is just so awkward for the Vikings. Maybe he's got a chance because he's got so much gold income compared to his opponent right now. ACCM's castle on the right, it will lose it. He keeps thinking that he can maybe take it down. He has to repair. He can't repair it. He has no stone. He just bought the stone. The bombard cannon. He's repairing. The bombard cannon will take the treb. That castle will stay up. On the left side, though, he's going to lose another castle. How is MbL still alive right now? He still doesn't have champion, by the way. An upgrade, which is so helpful here, but he's just been tossing units constantly to try and take the engagements. That's such a big castle for ACCM to hold on to, though. You're okay with losing that one? You're really not okay with losing your relics? He's probably going to be collecting them in a second. This is like old school Arabia, guys. You don't see Arabia games like this frequently. I love the way this game is played out. It's been an extremely open game. We saw a lot of happen in Dark Age, Feudal, Castle, now Imp. MbL's done a sneaky good job, even though his units might be seen as worse, of getting some value from them. There's an example of a raid. Here he's got some units protecting a gold just in case. But I just don't think you can beat Camel Archer and Hussar very easily with the Vikings. Siege Tower, choo-choo. Bombard Cannon down. Trebuchet down. Castle stands for MbL. Trebs on the left side. Slowly starting to make some progress again for MbL. Can he kill... I don't know what the tower's doing right now. Can he get skirms out and kill these Camel Archers that are not elite, by the way? They're still very strong. Still killing off the champions. Overall, I still really like this setup for ACCM as long as he can maintain some control of the left of his base. Castle here is still really good. He loses one more castle, though, you start to worry. He loses any more Camel Archers to this castle, too, you start to worry. And MbL's getting better skirm upgrades than he had before. He's doing this, maybe. ACCM still can't take his relics. ACCM getting found here on the stone by a couple random pikemen. MbL will get chieftains now. It's a good upgrade to get here. He's got the bonuses, bonus damage. Also will get some gold income of raiding with infantry. Crazy. MbL's still mining stone. He's been able to find some extra stone. His army's less expensive, so if he can mass more army, he can win the fights. Neither player is maxed, though. Still no champion upgrade for MbL. And then still no elite Camel Archer for ACCM, but I think he's close to it. He should be really close to that. The siege is so key. MbL's trebuchets, where are they right now? Okay, they're looping around this way. But you see, he's starting to get raided, and that's what the Vikings can't do a really good job of. So I think MbL's going to go for the kill now because these raids are only going to get worse. You'll get hit on the right side as well. He's done a decent job clearing this up. Where are those trebs? The trebs are over here right now. He's also got trebs on a treb on the left, too, going for the town center. And he's starting to stack some towers here. Towers to protect the area when he goes for the push. ACCM knows it's coming. He's making a bombard cannon. I think full attention will be on this right side, which means that ACCM might lose the town center here. All right, he noticed this. But MbL's getting some raids in. MbL's Treb applied some pressure and some focus. Elite Camel Archer now, they have 8+4 attack. These units shred everything. They're so good. They'll even take down the skirms, no problem. Because MbL's missing that final armor. I think ACCM's got the key ingredients with his army. But can he actually keep his castles up to invest into Camel Archers as a long-term unit? He takes one Treb. Oh, the bombard cannon is so key here. If MbL were to click the bombard cannon with the Trebs, he might be able to surprise ACCM. Because the direction of the Trebs are firing, you assume he's going for the castle. He snipes one. He's still repairing. He still has this stone. On the left side, MbL's gotten some raids. He's killed 100 villagers, but the army comp is a problem. I don't think he can push this castle. There's 10,000 gold left on the map. Most of that is around the middle here, right? That 4-tile gold and this 4-tile gold. This is essentially what they are still fighting over. And MbL will see that too. When you see this many villagers go in, you're gonna go for the kills. Raids on the right side though from the light cav. Just so cost efficient to go for raids with light cav. They're so cheap. They only cost food and it's so cheap for the Berbers too. MbL sees the monk getting the relics. And ACCM notices it and hops inside the TC with the monk. That's crazy. Big champion raid here, though, from MbL. I feel like Siege Ram is something MbL should consider. If you go Siege Ram with the champions, you could really push. But you need the food for the Siege Ram upgrade. You need the gold for the Rams. You need the wood, too. It's not easy. I've yet to see ACCM over 15 Camel Archers. He needs more than that. You get to 30, I think it's game over. But he hasn't gotten there yet. He's struggled to afford what he needs. Because MbL's just still dealing with the raids somehow, but always raiding him. Quite a few champions went down there, though. But God, this just looks so awkward for ACCM. He really doesn't have as much coverage over the map. MbL's got a much bigger area to work with. ACCM's kind of shifted towards the corner and this lower middle area of the map. And ACCM doesn't have gold income. And MbL does. ACCM only has 14 Camel Archers. He has struggled to get to where he needs to be. It took him a long time to get these relics back, too. He's just now going to get the relic number 3. And MbL will start to raid with champs. Now, remember, you get gold income when raiding with the Viking infantry after chieftains. So, if he's getting significant Vil kills here, he's actually profiting from it, which is epic. But ACCM's Camel Archers are here. We'll kill them very quickly. ACCM is raiding here. MbL's massing some siege. He is going for Rams. MbL, I think, needed the recognition of Rams a little bit earlier. Imagine if he had the Rams right now moving in. I think he could take the castle. But he's still got this castle somehow. He'll protect from the raids. He's trebbed the left, so he's taking down the TC on the left. He'll take the tower. He's eliminating that corner of the map from ACCM. And he's got Siege Rim on the way. This is like... I don't think you can stop this, guys. I think that ACCM will lose this castle and the whole of his eco to this raid. This is crazy from MbL. Get the Ram emote going, chat. There's no better time, seriously. One of the most epic infantry Ram plays we've seen in competitive AoE in a long time is about to start. Here we go. Siege Ram is not so cheap. ACCM is 80 on food. He's just hit that point. He's going for a third castle. He's about to be at his best late game. Camel Archer and Hussar spam. But the champions are inside those Rams. Some will hop out to kill the repair vills. All hands on deck for ACCM. He has to save the heart of his eco now. But that's a lot of champions. ACCM takes the fight. His castle will be down. His castle just melts to that raid. And then MbL can go for the town center. MbL could just continue on for the eco. I mean, the problem is MbL is trading all his military, and it's all gold units for fortifications and for buildings. I think it's worth it, though. You kill a lot of eco there. You have all the time and focus away from the enemy, so you can raid a little bit on the left as well. Like, there he's able to find damage. It takes a long time to take these Rams down. Town centers are so important, and castles are so important in late game. That is this sliced open ACCM's whole base. ACCM actually only has one TC right now. He's building a second one. I think what MbL needed in that moment is he needed to hit this gold at the same time. The fact that ACCM is still taking that really hurts him. But man, that was a crazy raid. We're still not finished, though, because MbL is going to have to do that again and again and again to break this. Camel Archer Hussar is still super viable for ACCM, and it's a strong comp. But again, sneaky raids from MbL on the left side. Wonder if he sees the monastery and tries to focus that down. He's actually taking down the tower right now. Damn. So, what, like 5k gold left now? Yeah, 5k. MbL is taking 1,500. And he's denying the rest. But ACCM is still mining this. Camel Archers will come this way. We'll clear up the infantry raid. MbL sees the Camel Archers are there. So this is like... This is now avoid the Camel Archer game for MbL. Do anything you can to get the Camel Archers on one side of the map and then hit the other. That's kind of the goal here. But it's really still going to be a tough fight unless he goes for the killer blow again. Magrabi Camels is now in too. So the Camels regenerate for ACCM, which is so good in the late game. And Hussar raids are just so good. Like, Hussars could still kill champions too. So you're using a food unit to kill a gold unit. Always worth it. And ACCM has 4 relics. MbL only has 2. MbL also doesn't have defensive castles, right? Like, this is defending this area. This area is still wide open. Like, this could be raided constantly. And so I'm worried for MbL that his army is just not good enough now. And that ACCM has enough gold to really get to the numbers that he's needed. 30 Camel Archers is crazy. And MbL doesn't have more Rams ready. But he's going for the raid, dude. He's going for the raid. He's going for the town centers. You still need to kill the army. You still do need to kill the army. But if you can't kill... The best way to start is make it so they can't make more eco. Is MbL running for the relics as well right now? Looks like he is. But, oh man, his units just die so fast. His units die so fast on both sides. ACCM just needs a couple Hussars over here. He is getting found building those stables. The monastery will go down, so that's some time without the relics there. MbL will lose a trebuchet, though. He loses a lot of his champions. But he still has more champions on the way. Camel Archers head this way. The main thing that MbL has defending himself is champions. Camel Archers have no problem there. And so ACCM will sit on the hill, fall back to the castle probably. Vil count is even, guys. Vil count is even. Military queue is even. They both have about 20 units in queue. But it's those 35 regenerating Camel Archers. I just don't know how you kill them. I do not think you kill them. And if ACCM can get these relics to a safe space, which he may be doing now, that's 5 relics versus 2. He's done enough. Yeah, I don't think skirms on their own are enough because then Hussars can hop in front. And other archers don't kill skirmishers as quickly, but Camel Archers do 12 damage. So they could still get good value against skirms. And MbL, I mean, this is a big raid game, right? He doesn't really have a lot of wood lines. Skirmishers feel pretty costly, as weird as that sounds. Even though it's a trash unit, because you need wood and you need food. 30 Camel Archers was always the key. ACCM has held on all game. I thought he was dead. But this is what we advertised with the series, right? Both players are hard to kill. MbL tried, but he needed another wave. Maybe now we get it. It gets interesting again. He's avoiding the Camel Archers. And he's going for one of 2 remaining castles. Damn, that would be crazy if ACCM falls down to 1 castle here. I still think the lack of relics and whatnot's a concern, but look, he's researching hoardings here, which would add HP to the castle. Hoardings is at 90%. Hoardings! He gets it! If he saves the castle, it's because of hoardings, but I think it's too late. Wow! Okay. So, I mean, better army, yes. But Eco's super exposed. Like, still raids on the left could work. Still raids down here could work. But how do you get back there when the Hussars and Camel Archers are around? ACCM's got a lot of wood down here, too. So it's not a wood game yet. MbL would need to ram push again for the final castle. Like, can he do that? I just don't know. ACCM, I think, is slowly getting the relics now. He's got monks, so they're probably moving. Yeah, this guy's moving, getting the relics. So he'll get there. This is the area that I think MbL forgot about. MbL's advantage for a long time was that he had more gold. This gold is almost gone now. So you could still pressure here. But now the Hussar raids have begun, and it would completely be game-changing if MbL had a castle on this hill, but he built all his castles on the front earlier. No potential for him to have any defensive castles around these farms. The Hussars can be in so many different locations. And ACCM just needs to back away, just needs to wait for some Hussars on the front, and then patrol in with the Camel Archers. It's a pretty good fight for MbL so far, though. That's a good fight for ACCM. MbL clears up the raids. MbL is stealing this gold now. So that could maybe be enough to fund another ram push. But you see how quickly the infantry goes down? And the Camel Archers just don't die? And then the Hussars clear up everything. It's such a good late game. It's so good. MbL wanted to win this in early Imperial Age, or I guess in Castle Age with those forward castles. It felt like he was committed to having to go forward. But once those castles have slowly got peeled back, he's had an issue here. And I think it's time for ACCM to take this castle down, maybe this castle down, and then MbL will have 0. These Camel Archers have 136 kills, guys. Which is kind of sneaky. We know they've been good, but I didn't know they've been 136 kills good. And they just patrol the siege. MbL's castle will disappear. The Hussar raids will continue. MbL is hoping that maybe this raid is something to get excited about, but castle's down. ACCM 72 on food. What a crazy hold. And yeah, MbL's little Treb push on the left side will be spotted as well. That Treb will get sniped. Treb gone. This is over. What a win for ACCM, guys. This was incredibly well played. I thought MbL was going to win this. He had a significant eco lead. I think the raids in Castle just made it too crazy for him. He had like so much army, but he wasn't able to actually move forward with the army. The whole game, he just had knights hoovering around his base, as is the quote. And he was patrolling all around. The map's been so open, and he never had mobile units, which is part of why I said maybe he should have opened knights instead of longswords with the siege tower shenanigans. Imagine 6 knights in early Castle Age in this game when ACCM doesn't have anything. Might not be able to get to 6 at the timing. I don't know. But it could have been a game changer. At the very least, he just needed his castles to be further forward, probably. He needed to end the game faster. And MbL's down to 100 pop right now. He's got nothing left except for the siege tower. Just too many losses. No defensive castles. Very few defensive towers. Towers that are still watchtowers. And this is probably the final raid from MbL before he taps out. 53 villagers for MbL. To be fair to him, this has happened very quickly. So if he hasn't checked his pop in a minute or two, he's probably going to be shocked to see he's at that population. He's been very used to death, so it's not like that's different. So, you know, it's the same type of feel, but yeah, you're at 90 pop, bro. And ACCM feels like a big one, man. This is it's early, but this is a game that I feel can decide a series. It's this close, it's this competitive. Both players had their chances the whole way through it. And based on the draft as well, and the history of it, MbL really likes the Vikings and tends to perform well with them. And it might be frustration from MbL. I don't know. But, I mean, he's very dead here. He probably sees he's getting counter raids and feels like maybe that's something. But, like, yeah, obviously, he down 70 villagers here. Not much of a chance for him now. He's actually showing ACCM what it feels like to have someone not resign. And wow, what a game. Only 100 camel archers for ACCM that game, but that was the key unit for me. And again, it's just easier civilization to play in the late game. When you stack your castles along the front, you gotta be imp faster than your opponent. You gotta end the game. Like, look at these castles. These castles were all stacked up in a line to keep ACCM there. And slowly and systematically, ACCM was able to grind all of that down, take all of that down, and expand everything to the south. I actually think one of the key moments in the game was him saving this castle here. Obviously, I don't know exactly where it was, but if you watched, you know, this was such a huge hold because MbL focused all of his attention here, and ACCM was slowly able to focus his attention on some of the other things there. And then he never had a lot of castles, right? So getting to that massive camel archers took so long. Had he lost that castle earlier, he might have never gotten there. But, like, really, you'd have to go back in time. You'd have to turn back the clock, and you'd have to tell MbL, drop defensive castles instead of forward castles. But if, like, that wasn't what the game state was. It was a forward castle type of game. He had a really big army, but his army was chasing knights. It was patrolling around here, was patrolling around here and here and here. And so he wasn't able to actually damage ACCM. An early imp, ACCM dropped the castles perfectly. Got imp, went for the siege, pushed back. GG. Had a crazy food eco the whole game as well. 65k food brought in. That was just him expanding that farming eco behind. A 1.5 KD as well. Could be a gut wrencher for MbL. Here in the blue, we got MbL playing as the Malians. Here in the red, we have ACCM playing as the Wu. Okay. So unlike some of the other map generations, but also Civ matchups, we might actually have this game open with some infantry. I guess MbL did in the previous game, but game 2 was kind of skirm v skirm. Game 1, we saw lots of skirms and spears as well. I feel like ACCM's map is a little bit better here. Just because of the woodline positionings, that's really been the big thing. If anyone's ever critical of these King of the Desert generations, it's the woodline positions. And that wood can act as a wall for you, and wood's the most important resource, so I like the setup for ACCM. You can think about how he might balance things. And then for MbL, he has similar amounts of wood around, but the front of his base is wide open. Super exposed gold here. Super exposed gold here as well. Stones exposed on the front. But he is MbL, and he has a sense for these things. And he's gone forward, and he sees a boar, and he's going to take the boar. And it's at a really unfortunate time because ACCM was just going out for that. And so MbL, down 2-1, wants to lame. ACCM knows that boar's being stolen, and he's going to attempt to chase this down. MbL is the best in the world at this. He usually will stay right next to that boar. If the scout ever goes out of the boar's vision, the boar will stop. So I've switched to Gaia vision now. And MbL will just wait. ACCM's blocking, so MbL will run too far, but MbL's like, oh, nope, he goes too far. So he went too far for a second. Boar will go back. Beautiful play from ACCM. That's so good. And now he also finds the sheep from MbL. It seems like MbL wants to go back after that thing, but I don't think it's worth the risk. So now MbL's down sheep as well. When you scout your opponent's base first, you miss out on your own resources. I think he knew the sheep were there. And, okay, he's going to find them. But now ACCM could kill it. So you can only kill it if it's your opponent's color, and it only stays your opponent's color if it's directly next to you, or directly next to them. So ACCM will get one. I don't know where this sheep is going right now, but MbL needs to bring it home, and he will. Again, nice job from ACCM. He'll get his boar. His barracks is coming up now, probably for some militia. MbL didn't push any deer, which ACCM was doing, which is why he wasn't on the front. next to his boar in the first place, so he took a risk there. And the Wu get a food boost when they finish their barracks. So that 65 extra food really feels nice on top of everything else. So advantage ACCM. MbL will be kind of blindly playing from here now. He doesn't know that the militia are coming yet. Now, what you'd look for, because you have to push this deer right now, what you look for is actually the score. But the issue is, because score is influenced by scouting, and because he scouted so much more than his opponent's score isn't higher than him. So adding military gives you a slight score boost, but scouting gives you more of a score boost. Like, if MbL stayed at home, for example, never moved out, right now ACCM would have a score boost of maybe 150, 200 because of the additional scouting and the military. But because MbL scouted so much, he doesn't really know. Now, that might have made him think that something is coming, because why would ACCM try and take that fight? Let's watch MbL adapt in the moment here. That villager's now weak. ACCM's lurking around. The militia are here. MbL hopes to wall with the barracks. The villager's still weak. ACCM wants that kill, but the militia are kind of out of position, and the scout's not strong enough to take that fight on its own. So far, so good for MbL, I guess. But so often, what is the killer with these builds is not the 2 militia. It's the follow-up. So this is 2 militia, super fast feudal, into an additional 2 militia, probably, and then man-at-arms. And MbL's base is brutal. He needs a mining camp for the golds. I think his plan is to go archers. He is not going to have archers out as quickly as he would need to deal with this pressure. The only advantage he has right now is that his scout is stronger, and when he's in feudal, he'll get the extra attack and speed. ACCM might put one of his militia on the other side of this scout, just so MbL can't commit on that side. It's what I try and do in these situations. You don't want to lose your scout. Yeah, so you see what I mean? Like, now you just position it that way. Funnily enough, MbL actually pulls the Vil. So the Wu infantry starts to regenerate in feudal for free. You don't research any tags, which is crazy. It's really strong, really OP. Combined with their other bonuses, this is a matchup now, I think, that ACCM will feel like he needs to win. MbL knows the builds, so he should understand the threat here. So he's preemptively adding walls where he can. He kills the scout. He sees the 3rd militia. He just has to leave the berries. At home, we've got that archery range from ACCM. Anything you can do to just slow down the follow-up, you do here if you're MbL. So he just attacks there for a second. But he's off of berries. What this will slow down is fletching. When you're pulled off the berries like this, you can't justify the 100 food and 50 gold to upgrade the archers. In ACCM's position, he should be able to get to fletching a bit faster here. But maybe he feels like he doesn't need to do that. Man-at-Arms will heal up, so you just kind of fall back. And the regen's pretty insane. Remember scouts, guys, for the Georgians and the regen? And everyone was like, holy crap, that's OP. Holy crap, that's annoying. And they nerfed it 2 separate times. It's now 2 HP per minute. What's the Wu man-at-arms now? 10 HP per minute. So it's 5 times as fast as the Georgians. And then it scales pretty significantly into Castle Age and into Imperial Age as well. It's really fast. Honestly, though, well played from MbL. Really well played. But again, he's doing a lot of this in the dark right now. He's blindly assuming what his opponent is going to do. He's dropping a stable, assuming there will be skirms. There's not skirms. So you choose scouts, or you choose fletching here. Eventually, maybe you can do both. He just doesn't have any real way of knowing. If he could get in there and he could see the amount of Vils on golds, he would know it's going to be archers as well. I think this gives ACCM a really good opportunity if he is fletching. Now MbL will see this. Okay, so I mean, MbL should know at least to maybe not produce that many more scouts. He created one, and I think he's still going to create a second. And you have to tower that gold. Tower that gold and wall the backside, I guess. But his base is just brutal. Like, he's been under consistent pressure. And if he ever wants to counterattack, his opponent is fully walled here. This is the worst possible situation you could be in for MbL, down 2-1. I guess it's not the worst possible. If he opened that gate, it's the worst possible. That was close. MbL does have fletching. ACCM will be like, scouts? Okay. But the army comes over here from MbL, and MbL has more archers. MbL has more archers, and MbL knows it too. He gets super close. He snipes 2 of the archers. He snipes 3. He snipes them all. Oh my god, that was sick. That is so good. And the infantry regenerates, but you're still not getting close to that many archers. Oh, that was so good for MbL. ACCM felt like he could just get the kill there. He was super close to getting some Vil snipes as well that he never got. And so MbL holds on here. Nice farm count. Gold's protected, of course. He will move forward now. 10 archers against 4, and they're both playing 1 archer range. It'll be 2 now for ACCM. I mean, the composition both civs like to go for in Castle Age is crossbow. So, archer count is the most important. What? There's a hole? There was a hole, dude. There was a hole in the ACCM's base. I thought he was fully walled. He thought he was fully walled. There's a hole there. There's been here the whole time. And MbL will obviously know that ACCM was not planning for that. He runs in, but MbL could just go right through still. It's actually huge for ACCM that he has the woodline and the gold next to each other. Without it, it might be game over. He doesn't need the berries anymore. This could end up working out for ACCM. If he just traps this army and kills it, maybe it's okay, but he needs to re-wall this right now. So the units can't escape and more units can't come in. But guys, ACCM spent an extra 100 food on armor for the infantry. And that does nothing for him now. And unfortunately, they can't regen back from the dead, so that'll be the next DLC. It'll be every fifth unit that dies gets revived by a spirit. I mean, there are skirms with armor, but still, it really just comes down to micro. There's not enough skirmishers in there for MbL to really be worried. And oh, what a response here if MbL can win this one. His map is so much worse. His start was so much worse. He's actually going to stone right now? Wow, so he knows that ACCM's core unit in Castle Age might end up being Jean Swordsman, which is a really tanky, some people feel overpowered infantry unit, which is anti-archer. So I don't think he's giving up on crossbow, but his plan is to play crossbow into a castle to make the Gabetto. That's really smart thinking. And he's up to Castle Age. And ACCM still hasn't clicked up. And ACCM has done no counter damage. ACCM's infantry have come all the way home, but he will clear this. MbL tries to trade against the archers at least. You're not worried about the infantry. That's fine for MbL. 6 archers in total on the map for ACCM. We still got 8 for MbL behind this. T90, can you please ask the devs to add villager insurance? Every time a villager dies, give 25 food back. Underpowered saves like Ketons need this ASAP. Yeah, you're right. The Ketons are really struggling. All right, I'll pass it along. MbL might just be playing around guard towers too. I think this is a very adaptable state. Obviously, if he doesn't need the towers, he'll save this zone for a castle. But who knows? Maybe guard tower will be needed. ACCM did patch that hole, but it's just a palisade wall. Probably needs to be a house. And as we talk about it, he goes for it. And he marches forward now. He doesn't know where the gold position is for MbL. Wow. I was going to say he doesn't know about the tower, which is true, but not even knowing the gold has been there the whole time is crazy. He's been super laser focused on this whole area. Tower's up. MbL's also in castle age. MbL will see this army. So he'll immediately chase it down with his range units. Second town center for MbL on the wood line. Guys, if MbL kills this army with his crossbows, ACCM has no choice but to go for John Swordsman. And then MbL goes Geppetto and just hard counters it. This is sick. This is so well played from MbL. I mean, he could have easily been so mentally deflated after that previous game and let it affect you here. He's just taking his time. No real problems. Ballistics will come in pretty soon. Castle on this hill maybe, and you just protect so much of the map. Maybe even on this hill to protect the stone and the gold. And there's the university for ACCM. But Malian University's research faster, so MbL thinking a little bit on what he wants to do. We'll place the castle there. Still no ballistics for MbL, though. These are his gold miners. So you're kind of expecting that he's going to have that upgrade. I think it'd be really bad for MbL if he gets smashed in the crossbow war, because crossbows can kill Geppetto. The idea is you force the opponent into John Swordsman, and then Geppetto we're good. A defensive castle is never awful, but, like, you still need army on the map, and crossbow should be it for MbL. He's not expecting ACCM's commitment here. Luckily for him, he's snagging ballistics now. But ACCM's ballistics upgrade will be a little bit faster. MbL denies the siege workshop. MbL's castle completes. ACCM feel like he wants to trap this army, kill this army. He probably will kill this army, but this gives MbL a lot of time. A lot of time to relax. And it's still 1 TC from ACCM. And it's about to be 3 town centers for MbL. ACCM will kill this. It's just a matter of how much value MbL gets from it, but MbL will know it's crossbow with ballistics, and he could just play his own range units or add some siege. He doesn't have to make the Geppetto. And he will hope to let himself cook up at home with his eco with some dancing here. Full nerd from both. This is not something that MbL's necessarily known for. Not something that he'll do as well as some others. He's always going to lose that fight. Always. No way he saves himself there. But he's 3 TCs. His eco's looking pretty good right now. Monastery is going up to maybe get some relics. ACCM, from what he sees, would maybe want to push this tower or push this gold. If I were him, I would assume that there's a town center on this gold here. So you don't want to push the tower because Malians can go for guard tower really quick. So yeah, pushing this gold is the right move, and that is still a vulnerable area for MbL. I think that's where MbL needed the siege workshop, honestly. Siege workshop on this hill, and it becomes really awkward for ACCM. I feel like MbL's going to be playing from the defensive for a while here, and a lot can go wrong. It really tilts me when people don't build outposts here. I just don't get it. Like, that's the only area of your base you're exposed. Maybe the woodline on the back as well. He does react right away. He does only lose 1 villager with some good micro, but now he's under pressure. Now he might need some siege. I was definitely expecting ACCM to be over here because he dropped the tower here. But ACCM can get some value from this attack. There is not enough army for MbL. He's got villagers around. The gate is not much defense at all. This is where some of his farming eco is in the back. Nice job from ACCM. Still, though, ACCM only has 8 on food. Just 2 town centers. He will drop the 3rd town center now. Feel like this hill is really critical. Trebbing or bombard cannon from that position for both could be really strong here. think MbL thought he was going for a masterpiece with the castle into Gebetto. But has never really been needed. ACCM doesn't even know about the castle. He doesn't even care. He sees all the farms he's idling. He knows MbL's economy can't be very efficient. He doesn't know MbL's on Elite Skirmisher, though. He's expecting some type of response at some point. And yeah, now he sees the skirms. He'll probably lose this army. It's just a matter of how many kills he can get. How long can he stay here? And how good will his economy be behind? He's going for 4 TCs right now behind this. MbL puts a stop to this. It takes care of the Mangonel with the skirms. Well played. And now he's hoping not to allow ACCM to escape. And he lands the shot, dude. He lands 2 shots. Oh, man. What a clear up from MbL. 2 Omega booms. And it's so much for crossbows being the advantage. Okay, now is where the castle starts to look pretty sick. Because now ACCM will add some Jean Swordsmen. Okay, I guess he does know about the castle, but if MbL could get another castle up here, his base, which at one point looked really bad, is going to look really good. I'm surprised ACCM, he knew that that Mangonel was there. Obviously, he had no choice because there was an army on the other side, but he didn't really micro much there. Like, I think I'm like probably being too critical, but from my perspective, at elite level play, you know that Mangonel's there. You know MbL's going to attack around in the choke. So you go in, back off at least once, and then try and run out. But I think he's got too much to manage, obviously. And MbL, that's a crazy castle. That's such a good castle. And he has 5 Mangonels now? What? I don't think ACCM can engage against this. Even, like, 4 Gebetto kill the Jean Swordsman. The Jean Swordsman are high Pierce armor. Oh, boy. 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 Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. MbL, be careful. Be careful. Ah! He loses 1. He loses 2. Could have been worse, I guess. He had them all in a big group there, so I thought he would maybe lose everything. This hill is everything here. MbL moving up the hill. Has the Mangonel lead. He doesn't land the shot there. ACCM lands the shot. ACCM still repairing. ACCM will lose his Mangonel, but he also takes down the Mangonel, and he can now take the Gebetto. So maybe some Jean Swordsmen are here. He's now taking the Monk. ACCM micro. It did take a big shot there. MbL still has the 15 villager lead. MbL still has 3 relics. MbL will be fine with that. And MbL's on the way to the Imperial Age as well. You didn't need to push up that hill. But overall was probably good value. ACCM still has not clicked up. ACCM will take the hill. Where's ACCM's gold? Gold's here? Gold's here. Okay. This gold and this stone back here is really safe. That'll never be raided. These 3 tile golds around the map are neutral golds, but the 4 tiles are associated with the player. This will be valuable. I think MbL should know about that one, so maybe he'll castle there eventually. But MbL is... His main army comp is going to be Gebetto. And it's because he's seeing the Jean Swordsman. Jean Swordsman just got completely wrecked. ACCM will need to go back into range units. I think as long as MbL outposts along the north, there's no way he loses this game. Denying this gold is kind of everything right now. And again, 3 relics. Maybe he can get 4. Maybe he can get 5. Still, though, Gebetto are pretty fragile against the crossbows. So, what a fun series, guys. This has been great. This has been the closest round to 16 set so far, I feel. MbL I don't want to jinx him here, but I feel like he's too good to lose this one. I've seen him in these positions before. Pushing up the hill and dealing with traction trebs is going to be kind of a difficult task, but he's looking really sharp right now. And everything ACCM tries just doesn't work. I think in ACCM's mind, he's thinking long and hard on what he can try. He's going to make fire archers now. So, fire archer's the unique archer. You do need more castles for that, though, right? One castle fire archer production might not be enough. MbL sees the movement from ACCM over here. Has vision on that gold. His Gebetto will just go this way. He's getting chemistry for bombard cannons. Hand cannon could be an option for the Malians here. MbL going to cheekily take what he can of this gold. Probably a little ambitious, but... The big thing for MbL right now is stone. He needs to shift over here and take this stone. For a little while now, he's actually had no stone in the bank. I think that'll change, but... You'll need to repair castles and maybe build a lot more as well. MbL knocking on the door over here. The first bombard cannon's on the way. Nice shot there from MbL. And the fire archers get the snipe so far. Yeah, so the fire archer is it's a bit of a weird unit in fights. They have different range depending on if they're against buildings or siege weapons. Actually, I think it's just the buildings, sorry. It's not the reason people tend to pick the Wu. They tend to pick the Wu for the economy and the infantry and the traction trebs and the cav. And that's a lot of pressure from MbL. 3 trebuchets and bombard cannons. This is just as traction trebs can be made for ACCM. He's so late to imp. He'll try what he can here just to slow this down. But the skirmishers and the Gebetto are enough to hold the line. The trebs are forcing more and more repairs from ACCM. And MbL is going for champion now, too. An extra pierce armor on the champions for the Malians. Way better underneath castles than against archers when compared to the previous game. It's not camel archer, it's a fire archer. Camel beats fire, apparently. And also we have the extra pierce armor now for the Malians. The champion is also on the way immediately from MbL. In the previous game, he didn't get there at the time he wanted. And the Gebettos are just going to dive in. MbL's sacrificing his whole Gebetto army to force those traction trebs back. To give him more time here. 200 pop. Everything ACCM has dies. And MbL has responded very nicely here. This was a really hard matchup after the lane and with the map. His map was significantly worse. His start was so much more difficult. But he defended from the attack. He was able to get the archer lead. And what a victory. Again, all of his golds were forward. He failed with the lame. He got some of his sheep stolen. He did not have the ability to go up as quickly. And he just stayed patient and then was able to lock down the entire map. That is the most impressive game I've seen from MbL so far this tournament because it could have been so bad. Now, for ACCM, I think he needed to keep a closer eye on what MbL was actually doing. Losing those 5 archers and not getting a single kill was the brutal thing there. I think as well, it would have been really nice for him to know what the gold situation was. He didn't really know that MbL even had that tower until he was in Castle Age, but I think that's just because he didn't have the army control in the game. He overextended. He overextended in where the units were and how the fights went, but also the investment, because he also got armor on the infantry, and the armor on the infantry didn't accomplish what he wanted there. 2-1 KD for MbL. Ridiculous economy. Crazy food and gold. And we have ourselves a series. 2-2. 3 more games, we hope. Winner moves into the quarterfinals here. Here we are, game number 5. I want to hear from my viewers which civ they think is better here, because Georgians are feared on Arabia. Georgians are really tough to stop when they get going on Arabia. But Japanese, especially on maps that are pretty open, can also be incredibly strong. So, okay, A lot of chats saying Georgians. But you know what I've noticed in this tournament, guys, with Georgians? Is the flow of the game, they normally want to play into Cav Archers and Economy, but they're dying to really good Cav Archer civs. And Japanese have Cav Archers with +2 attack versus ranged soldiers, so they have the better Cav Archers, plus they get Thumb Ring. And then Japanese have the fastest attacking Halbs in the game, which can counter the Manaspa and the Cav spam from Georgians. So I think Georgians are easier to play, which definitely counts for something. But I actually think Japanese are the better civ in this matchup. I think it's close, but I would personally prefer Japanese. But you can't discount the fact that you start with that mule cart. It should allow you to get rolling quickly in Feudal Age. And a fast start in any game can snowball into a victory. So another game and another lane. MbL is not at home pushing deer. He failed the lame last game, but it's rhinos this time. There's more meat on the bones. Oh, and he also sees the sheep, which I don't think ACCM found. Uh-oh. ACCM, are you noticing this? Are you noticing this? ACCM. ACCM. The rhino's gone. MbL through the darkness lames the rhino. I don't think ACCM realized. See, in his mind, this was where this rhino was. He thought it wandered back into the darkness. And he's like, wait a second. Where's the... I thought I had a rhino here. And now he realizes. So that's why I like laming, by the way. I'm a very big fan of laming. Except in the rare instance that someone is laming me. But if someone's not laming me, big fan of it because it balances out the pushing of the deer. You want to use your scout to push in some deer and be greedy? Well, guess what? There's a risk. So, yeah, laming is toxic if someone does it to me. But if MbL does it, it's fine. No, it's not toxic. It's not. It's the tournament. Gloves are off. And we talked about how good the Georgian star can be. That slows him down. That is so good for MbL. Now, it's unfortunate for ACCM because he did bring in the forward rhino, and that rhino was off to the side, so you're never really assuming that gets stolen. I actually can't really be that critical. If we had the same exact situation here and MbL came forward, 8 times out of 10, he's going to show up here, or he's going to show up here, or he's going to show up here, and he's not going to get that. So he just ended up walking right towards it. MbL's nickname was once the Boar Whisperer, so I guess that also would translate to the rhinos. So 3 rhinos for MbL. MbL's building the barracks. ACCM will come forward. And ACCM sees a villager there. He would love nothing more than to get some counter damage after losing that rhino, but I highly doubt he's going to end up getting the kills, and MbL wants to use this food, rush to Feudal Age, and likely go for Man-at-Arms. Other civs might not be able to recover there. ACCM had already pushed some deer. And ACCM's on the way to Feudal Age anyways, but this is where it gets really tough to defend from the Japanese. T90, has the map been changed in comparison to previous rounds? Because why is there the No Predators addition to the map name? Okay. Axmo. I will explain, but first, if you wouldn't mind, let me give an ever so slightly sassy answer to your question. Yes, there was a change. If the map has been updated to be named KotD6, No Predators, what do you think the change was? Is it option A, they have lessened the amount of water that generates on the map? Is it option B, they have added more trees to the map? Or option C, they have removed animals from the map that would attack you, otherwise known as predators? Which one? D, not enough information. I mean, I guess you could consider rhino a predator. So I guess it depends on your definition of predator. But yeah, basically players complained. Players are not a fan of their drushes running into wolves, and they listened. And honestly, I'm fine with it. I think we wouldn't have had the Vil Rush strategy from ACCM in the previous game without, you know, if the Predators were still there. So I'm okay with it. I'm a big fan of maps changing event to event, and I agree. From a player perspective, it could be really annoying when you do nothing wrong and then you lose half HP on your militia. So now check this out. MbL could have gone for Man-at-Arms because he had so much food. But instead, he makes one militia and just stops there because he saw the walls from ACCM. ACCM had to respect that it was going to be archers maybe or Man-at-Arms. And he is, instead of going for scouts, is going to go for an archer range. So MbL is going for the economic approach. He's got so much food. He also goes for horse collar. He's also just playing safe into some walls. Again, in Castle Age, I think if Japanese play Cav Archers, the Georgians could maybe have some issues here. So, T90, please take back your words because rhinos are not predator. They are endangered species. Okay. But wait a second. Are you telling me that no predators can also be an endangered species? If something becomes an endangered species, are they just magically not a predator anymore? I'm pretty sure you could be both. The Scout's being active. Scout goes down for MbL. And archers come forward. That was well played from ACCM. His whole build does counter this, so he knows. And he already has the skirms prepared. And now MbL doesn't have the Scout to push back against this. So I kind of like the greed approach from MbL economically and with walls. But throwing away your archers here would not be a good start. That's exactly what's happening. His archers are going down. He's still moving forward with the other archers as well. Surprising. He's going to lose everything here, guys. So the start was great. The lane was great. But ACCM has adapted really well here. His scout will regenerate slowly, but still eventually could keep that alive. Farms are up and everything. And he will drop a tower at home. He is walling this side. But a tower, you could argue, is unnecessary. I don't mind it, though, because that is the most vulnerable area of the map. He does need to get the walls down here, and there's a lot of work to do here, so. Guys, if Liquipedia says that the next match is starting in 5 minutes, Liquipedia is wrong. We won't have any series overlap from this point on in the tournament. So there's a projected time, but they're not going to start the next series until the series is concluded. So no worries, we won't miss that. If they were to do that, I would never switch either. I'm not going to commit to a 2-2 banger here and then leave to another series, but we don't have to worry about that. Liquipedia is not actually always right, but it's not also wrong of them to list it as they did because there's projected scheduled time. So, I mean, that was a lot of walling for MbL, and that's a lot of villager time invested into that. He's still not even completely walled. Well played from ACCM. He actually finds another archer here. Wow. Are there any archers watching right now? Because I'm so sorry you had to witness this. This has been a really disastrous feudal age for MbL. I mean, I would have loved Man-at-Arms into archers at this point. But for now, at least his scout is going to be trapped, and he does get the kill there. But he snagged Horse Collar, so his farms will last a long time, which is great for the Cav Archer transition, because you don't need to spend the wood quite as quickly. He'll have 14 farms. ACCM's only on 12, but ACCM will finish the berries here in a second, which MbL still has yet to finish. I would guess big army play in Castle Age for the Japanese player. Georgians... I mean, Georgians can do either. It's kind of tough to decide right now. I feel like this is skirmishers into Cav Archers for Georgians. You would really only play knights if your opponent was on skirm. And again, just Cav Archers seems to feel really natural for the Georgians in a lot of these games for whatever reason. But they do lack thumb ring. And in this case, their ranged soldiers are going to be a problematic option against the Japanese Cav Archers. What we might see is we might see a church stacked on the wood line and also on the gold to increase the work rate in the areas around it. And then you also will see the army from the archer ranges. Like, shouldn't Japanese cav archers be much better? Yeah, but you want like something offensive, right? You want to play mobility and you want to kill Vils. I think the patient approach might be best, though. Maybe you have to fight the urge to play cav archers. Just play full skirm. And then boom for a bit. And then you can switch into something else later. You want to play skirm knight. I don't think you want to play cav archers here. So, guys, I asked ACCM a question once in person at a LAN event. I said, ACCM, what do you think is, like, the big difference? What is one thing that 2,300 ELO players need to do to get, like, 2,500 ELO or 2,600 ELO? I was asking for a friend, okay? I was asking for some guy you don't know. And he told me something I would have never expected. Go ahead and guess what he said. He didn't say get good. No. ACCM's much nicer than you. Don't resign. No. Get better. No. Delete the game. No. More skirms. No. Smoking. Honestly, he probably would agree that smoking helps, but no. Okay, okay, listen to this. Someone in chat says fix idle TC time. No. What he told me was idle your TC in Feudal Age. I was like, what? Idle my TC? He's like, yes. And I told, like, Doubt this, and Doubt's like, I don't agree with that. Doubt's like, did he really say that? So I'm bringing that up because he's in Castle Age at the same time as MbL with worse eco because he idled. Like, he had to idle to click up. So I don't know, maybe this was what he meant? Like, moments like this? He was not really more specific. He just said idle your TC more. I was like... I'm not sure I agree with his statement, by the way. I think idling your TC is always something that you should try and avoid. But maybe he meant maybe sometimes you have the idle to go Imperial Age or something. But yeah, that's always stuck with me. It's always stuck with me. So second TC's up for ACCM. He just has the skirms at home. He will go for the cav archers as well. And this is because of the game state feeling like a good moment for CA. But I would agree. It's not necessarily a matchup that I think translates well long-term for the Georgians with Cav Archer v Cav Archer. Red Phosphor is in chat. He says, idle town center sounds good to me. Okay, but that... What you're thinking is definitely not what ACCM meant, but nice to see you, Phosphor. Cav Archers find just archers from MbL. Our MbL has skipped the crossbowman upgrade, which is probably fine. And MbL is one town center. One town center. It's actually making siege from home, which is never really ideal. You always want the siege workshop in the middle because siege is super slow. But he'll move out, take some stone for the second town center. ACCM's eco is starting to look pretty good here. The areas around the church have an increased work rate. I love how he's kept the skirms alive, so he can always use them later if he needs to. And it's gotten quiet here, so his plan is to go raid. Someone in chat says, I idle my TC all the time. I should be 2,500 elo any moment. I guess that's true. You guys are idling your town centers all the time. He didn't mean that. He didn't mean that much, though. He meant, like, I guess, 45 seconds. 45 seconds by the 24-minute mark, because that's what he has. Okay, I don't think he actually knew it was Cav Archers from MbL until now. Now he knows, and now he can upgrade to Elite Skirm. 10 Villager Elite. Not bad. MbL's still one town center. MbL's going crazy army. MbL's like, I want to make everything here. Siege Workshop, Monastery, University. This will be a lot of micro from MbL. His Cav Archers will wreck the Georgian Cav Archers with that +2 bonus, but the skirms are a problem. He's never expecting the siege here. Yeah, now he sees it, but that comes at a really weird time. Normally, the Siege Workshop would have been forward. Still really good, though. ACCM, I think, needs to gain this hill. You can never give MbL a hill above your town center. I swear, if he builds it... Yeah, okay. Telling you, remember. Siege Workshop in the back, he feels he has to get it safe. A siege workshop here could be really nice too. MbL will always look at a hill near a town center. He doesn't know about this TC yet. And he can't sit on a hill over here and hit the TC. He will hit the archer range for now. Cav archers for ACCM move forward. The cav archers for ACCM will easily kill the archers. And then MbL will need more army at home to defend from this. But he will never want to leave his push on the front. So he has to leave the wood line. Still no ballistics upgrade for ACCM. Here come the CA for MbL. Villagers will have to leave. Ballistics on the way for ACCM, but he doesn't have it just yet. He only killed one Vill. And MbL's cav archers have much better upgrades. Ballistics is in, but also MbL has full armor, and he gets the bonus damage that we talked about. So he should wreck here. They're both micro, but MbL should own. Nice job from ACCM to at least stay around here for a little longer. That's good micro, but I think that's a no micro scenario for me. I just patrol. I think I'm going to win the fight if I'm MbL. Oh, God. Oh, God. Big shot from ACCM. Surprises MbL with the mangonel. Really nice micro with a 20 villager lead. MbL is still one town center, but he lands the shot. And his army, he's got a significant lead there, but ACCM, if he can just hold, his eco is going to be way stronger. I love this siege workshop. It's such a good decision. MbL's really looking for a hill that allows them to get the better push going. But even the forward villager that goes to repair that mangonel gets sniped. And the skirmishers come out of nowhere. Imagine if the skirmishers went here. They could actually deny the town center. Second TC, third TC for MbL. His town centers were so late. He's tried to do everything. He's tried to go monks, siege, ballistics. So he has to have some type of payoff for this. ACCM has played really patient. I love the amount of outposts around the map. So MbL's siege and cav archers won't surprise him. MbL just checking the map here a little. We'll see another siege workshop. So tough for him to ever justify advancing this way now. He is adding some knights though. But the knights don't have armor yet. So the knights could still die pretty quickly to some skirms. ACCM wants a castle. What I would want is... What was he? Fires uphill there. What I would want is a castle just for Manaspa production. It's risky, but I feel like he's already protecting his TC. So, yeah, that castle's okay. I mean, it's risky to place a castle in front of the TC. Some people do that so they don't lose their town center there. MbL's knight will get converted. He has to delete that. ACCM taking his time. 20 Vill lead. Firing up the hill, though. And MbL lands a big attack round. That's so good. And the cav archers will go down for ACCM. His skirms could be in trouble. His monk could be in trouble. MbL still holding. 1, 2, 3 town centers. Monk's bringing back relics right now. But if Manaspa start going to his base, this becomes a real headache to hold this hill. You go for counter raids to set up the siege defense now if you're ACCM. You raid, MbL reacts, and then bam, you hit here. That's what you try and do. But at the same time, MbL also recognizes that. MbL knows exactly what that is, but he doesn't have an outpost here, so he doesn't see that siege hopping out. And again, he has to leave the hill to move after the town center. And here comes the siege. MbL moves away. Ooh, and he's really fortunate there. Kind of feel like this is a very even game. I still think Japanese Cav Archer Halb is the better long-term comp. That was a good fight from MbL. But you can't argue with this villager count. I feel like MbL's base is going to be super exposed against raids if Manaspa can start to run in. MbL on the way to the Imperial Age with 67 Vills. So he cannot lose his army. If he loses his army, he cannot replenish it. Not easily. Imp isn't a bad call, though. It just makes your Cav Archers even stronger. Here come the Manaspa lurking around, though. And there's skirms in there, too. Can he take the siege? Nice shots from MbL, but the Manaspa will go in for the siege. They have to take the siege. They have to. They will. Not. Yes. No. They do. That's worth it for ACCM. That's worth it. He's got a 20 villager lead. All of MbL's Cav Archers have to run from the hill. ACCM can now take the hill if he wants. He could also go for a forward castle, which looks extremely ambitious right now, knowing what we know. But he'll try that. He'll have to move it because of MbL's outpost. MbL will drop a 4th TC behind right now. Where does ACCM cram this castle now? Okay, he's going to put it there. Oh my god, that's a crazy castle. This feels very similar to that Vikings game. A lot of the gameplay elements are different, but the one player going with better Vil count and going forward castles, and then the other player with the better ranged units going imp faster with lesser eco. But that castle is going up for ACCM. There's not a lot MbL can do about that one, and MbL on this side defends. That puts MbL under a lot of pressure, excuse me. And the Manaspa can find some exposed areas here. And more Manaspa will be spammed. But are Manaspa good enough against the Cav Archers? MbL's a long way from a castle now that he's pushed off this stone. His other stone is over here, and he doesn't have the Vils on it right now. But he'll get Bracer. He still has 24 Cav Archers. I think you do have to stay in Castle Age if you're ACCM. Oh, man, if MbL just went forward right now. If he just went forward. Those Vils are so dead, but he's coming home because of the raids and the skirms and the pressure. He doesn't allow himself to move forward at all. He wants to clear this first. Can he clear it? Oh, my God, dude. That is the second game in a row with a sick attack round. He hasn't killed them yet. It's still good value, a good space for ACCM. He'll snipe the next Mangonel. Yeah, the skirms on the Manaspa are still back here. And ACCM's economy is completely untouched. He's still mining that stone. He could still bank up for another castle. And honestly, he could think about imp soon. This is great for ACCM. Now, if MbL doesn't come back, this is obviously far worse. So it's a tough decision for him to make. ACCM knew he could be unprotected here because the attack was that good. That was such a good attack. The forward castle was good. The forward castle will take down the TC. MbL still got Vils hopping out of that. That will die. But at a certain point here, ACCM, you do need to stop producing Manaspa and go Imperial Age. Because these Manaspa are going to die pretty quickly to the Cav Archers. And that's something he hasn't been able to kill. But, I mean, oh, God. Oh, my God. You idiots. These stupid Vils left the gate open. More Manaspa run in now. More frustration for MbL. More damage back here. More damage back here. He's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. ACCM's running all around. Crazy raids, man. Crazy raids. And now he has 3 castles. Full Castle Age against Imperial Age, but MbL's eco is so bad right now. He needs counter damage. Finally, he'll move out to do that. You know what I'd like for ACCM? Svan Towers. I don't think you need the tech right now, but like just towers in general. I guess you do have the churches, but because these Cav Archers are going to become a problem. I mean, maybe not, because he continues to dive in. He's back with skirms and Manaspa again. But yeah, just towers around your base so the Cav Archers can't raid your eco, and you're going to win this game. Holy raids from ACCM. And ACCM noticed this too. He saw the Cav Archers. He hopped inside of his church. He killed like 20 villagers in the last minute. So MbL never had the economy of ACCM, and then he went low eco imp. And he has been completely punished for it. He's still in imp. He's still got a lot of Vils in queue. I still think Japanese is a great civ in the late game here. But everywhere that villagers are exposed, ACCM could put a church. And as long as he hides in the church, it keeps his Vils protected. And there's going to be churches everywhere. Remember that crazy evacuation game ACCM had with Georgians? There's just like a million churches all over the map and 100 farms. I think the game went on for 3 hours. I doubt this one will go 3 hours, but it's kind of similar how he has his eco set up back there. And it's dual purpose. It adds to the efficiency of your eco and it protects your vills. So. Still no imp, though. He's still in Castle Age. But he's in Castle Age with a 50 villager lead. The church will complete there. MbL has to run away now. And anytime MbL doesn't address this army, the army will dive into his eco. Through the palisade walls is super easy to do. MbL is just exposed everywhere. And look, he can't. And every time he moves forward, there's another castle. There's more structures. I think ACCM's won this one, guys. If MbL hasn't won it yet, he's been an imp for like 5 minutes. How is he ever supposed to break ACCM? ACCM's economy is way better now. Even another castle. He could maybe win it in Castle Age, honestly. Imperial Age overrated. Just the weakness of the Cav Archers is they have to always be in one spot. And Cav units can spread out and they can raid. And MbL's base is wide open here. That is castle number 4 for ACCM. And I'm sure we will see more than that. This is crazy. Wait, MbL doesn't have ballistics? Bro! No wonder he's not killing anything. Oh. I mean, it wasn't immediately obvious to me when I was watching the fights. So we'll see. Like, okay, now MbL will get it. Watch. MbL will get it now. This is the first time that he'll realize he doesn't have it, and he'll buy wood, and he'll get ballistics. Right? MbL? Right? Okay, well, never mind. There he was chasing. Yeah, see, look, he's missing the volleys again. At a certain stage, he's got to realize now he doesn't have it, right? Oh, my freaking God. Oh, my God. ACCM will not stop with these raids, dude. He just keeps going. I'm pretty sure ACCM knows he doesn't have ballistics. The way he's moving some of his units there. MbL finally. This was his plan, was to go imp, get trebs, have upgraded Cav Archers, and treb these castles down. Finally, he is getting into a castle, but it took so long. And now, will ACCM be able to hold? Oh, God, MbL didn't know there was 2 more castles here. Oh, pain. And there's Svan Towers now for ACCM. He's got stone all over. He's got gold. He doesn't have relics. But he can just play pure skirm and Manaspa as he has been doing, and he will probably be able to stop the trebs. I mean, MbL will have his first treb out in a second. That's not going to be enough to take down that castle. This is what ACCM needs more of. More cav raids. That's been his key ingredient today. If he's playing archer or infantry, apparently it's not working. But if he's playing cav, he's a menace. He's an absolute menace. Look at this. More units coming in on this side. If villagers are going to come from somewhere to build towers there. MbL just can't keep up with them. There's cav here. There's cav here. There's cav here. There's villagers sneaking this way. Now, MbL can't ever leave his trebs. And that hurts because you're going to get raided, but you just can't. Because if you go clear up the raids, then your trebs get sniped. You have to always protect your trebs now. The game's probably over anyways, but you just got to hold your trebs. That's your only chance. There's the guard tower upgrade. Funnily enough, MbL dropped a tower there, so it'll be tower v tower. There's 40 skirmishers for ACCM. 40. And Georgian skirms aren't necessarily the best skirms in the game, but 40 skirmishers is still going to be pretty damn good against that amount of Cav Archers, so MbL does have to back off with the trebs, which gives ACCM time. Svan Towers, your fortifications get extra attack, but then the watchtower line deals pass-through damage. This tech is super strong. I would say it's better than Japanese towers. Japanese towers are also really good because they get additional arrows. It's kind of a tower matchup in a weird way, but the economy difference is significant here. And the towers are just a really nice addition to distract MbL, because he knows MbL always needs to focus on the front. Zapto says MbL will win this. If MbL wins this, I will gift 75 subs to the channel. All right? That would be ridiculous comeback. He is so far behind right now. So far. Oh, wait. Not 75, not 75. Well, you guys got to make me a deal. What do I get if I'm right? What do I get? Are you guys just nothing? Just nothing more than I was going to get anyways? Give me... I'm stupid. I should have got something out of this. You get the satisfaction of being right. Okay, deal. Deal. I wouldn't mind a few subs as well. But, fine. I'll take satisfaction of being right. I'm happy with that. Trebuchet's now from ACCM on the hill. And MbL taps out and calls the GG. Oh, it feels so good to be right. Feels so good to be right. I mean, listen, I think for people who had confidence in MbL, they know he's tough to kill off. But this is ACCM we're talking about. That was so well executed to win that game against Japanese. Again, I think, like, MbL kind of skipped over the basics here. I think he tried to do too many things in the early stages of Castle Age. The matchup, I think, is really good for the Japanese, playing into Cav Archer. But he went Cav Archer. He went Siege from home, too, which is maybe questionable, but okay, that's fine. Then he says, you know what? I also want some relics. And you know what? Relics are nice, but I also want ballistics. And so then it was just like, he's doing too many different things. He got too greedy, right? It's like your parents ask you what you want for Christmas. They're like, hey, pick your favorite thing. And you're like, I want it all, Mom. I want it all. It's too much. It's way too much. I think if he waits on some of these things, if he goes Siege, ballistics even, which he never got. Wait a second. It's just, he never actually got ballistics. Ever. So he built the university here, and he didn't even end the game with ballistics. Oh, God. Well, he probably thought that he had it the whole game then. But it was just such great defense from ACCM. The economy of the Georgians is strong, and he avoided those Cav Archers, which were going to be problematic. So well played. Oh, God. That's crazy. But, I mean, it's one thing to just not have ballistics. It's another thing to make the university early Castle Age and not get ballistics. We all forget ballistics sometimes, but he went for the ballistics timing, and it didn't even happen, so. And, listen, it's been a long series. This could be exhausting. There could be a lot of pressure. And so maybe that's a sign that the exhaustion is setting in. So I'm kind of happy it's played out this way. They both had their number one pick as Chinese, but MbL goes for Chinese now, and ACCM is saving Chinese for the potential Game 7. Now, he has his second pick. We have seen a lot of lames here. And so both players should be scouting the front of their base to see if any of their boars are forward. MbL's also hoping, as more gifted subs are coming in, thank you, Cat Thief and Papa, he's also hoping he doesn't have any forward boars and that he has multiple deer to push. Chinese really need that food, and there's some variance in these generations. So this is kind of mid, I guess. This could be better. This could be worse. You get 2 deer. Your boars are on the back. That's fine. You would have loved some rhinos because that's a bit of extra food. You would have loved a group of 4 deer. But 2 is still okay. Map for MbL is pretty solid as well, but it is quite open at the same time. But Chinese are very adaptable as long as they don't take any early damage. All right. ACCM finds his boar on the front. I think he was a little paranoid after last game. Let's not forget he got lamed pretty badly and he stabilized. So he sees both of his boars. I feel like ACCM will go man-at-arms here. It's not a very Persian thing to do. Persians love to go for scouts. But to apply some pressure to the Chinese, I would definitely consider it here. And you can go man-at-arms with 2 on wood with Persians, too. That extra 50 wood and that extra 50 food is so nice. And plus, the town center works faster, so If any civ is going to catch up to the vil count of the Chinese, it would be the Persians. Long-term, MbL's map is pretty decent for gold, too. Gold in the back, stone in the back. Not so much for ACCM, with a lot of these golds on the front. There is this great wall of wood over here, though. These two wood lines have connected. If he were to realize that and wall this up in late game, it's really good back area of extra gold and stone. But that's really ambitious. I'm not going to name names. There was a player who went for some fairly ambitious walls in a prior series. Walls that he probably regrets, which is why I feel a little bad for bringing it up, because now chat's going to say it. But yeah, that's too far to wall. That's too far to wall, okay? Chat, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. It was so funny, though. I can't stop thinking about it now. Oh, you like walled the whole thing and then there was a hole. Oh, so funny. T90, what do these pros eat? Are there any interesting diets for tournaments? I mean, I don't know everyone's life, but I could tell you a lot of what people tend to eat when I'm at these LAN events and the food that they order. I think the most consistent theme would probably be cigarettes, energy drinks, and then lots of greasy food like pizza and yeah, just lots of pizza. Probably those would be the three. Those would be the three. So very, very nutritious diet. I think it must be the diet that explains how quick they are in the game. Caviar and shrimp. Hey, that might be AoE 4, but not AoE 2. We have a pause right now. I don't think it's for any bugs or anything. Does maybe they don't see one of their resources, maybe? They think their map is bugged? No, it seems fine here. Seems fine here. Yeah, I think they'll end up restarting this here in just a second. Unless there's something going on. Yes. Oh my god! MbL just asked did he just ask the admin if a board didn't spawn or what? His board, oh my god. What? It even moves into the other area, bro? So it moves and it walks to the next little spot. Oh, that's so bad with Chinese. It's such a tiny little sliver. He's just not expecting it to ever be there. He thinks he's been lamed. Oh, come on, Boar, move. Oh my freaking god. It's trolling him. Can you move any other direction, you stupid pig? What is that? Watch, it's going to move back. This is crazy, man. He needs that boar. He's never going to find it. I always thought that boars moved different directions, but maybe they just go back and forth a certain angle, and it just so happens to be going there. I mean, this is for someone's tournament life, and that pig is hidden. Oh, man. Well, gotta slow down MbL's feudal age time. MbL will have no food underneath his TC. This is so bad for his hopes. So bad for his dreams. And it will be scouts for ACCM. ACCM finds his scout. He's in feudal age so much faster. So he could kill MbL's scout now too. Did MbL catch a glimpse of it? If he was looking over there, maybe he saw it moving. Did he see it? Oh, he found it. Oh, he's angry. He is going to eat this boar so much faster. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's a bonus that applies to all civs. If you don't have your boar by the 9-minute mark, your villagers angrily eat the boar, which is a 20% food boost. I'm kidding. That's a dumb joke, but... Okay, he eats the boar. Yeah, screw you, boar. Die, boar. I hate you, boar. That's what he's thinking. Oh, that sucks. I mean, that affects the game. He's down a whole boar, but at least he has it now. And now he needs to shift into defense. I think he would have gone for a scout opening, but... He has to play spear defense first. Against only spears, his opponent would switch to archers or their own skirm. So he has to now adapt out of this. And that'll be tough. These villagers are on a hill right now. So that could be a quick villager kill from ACCM. Should be a quick villager kill from ACCM. He gets the hit and he runs away. He does almost lose 2 full scouts. ACCM's also probably confused. It's funny. We have some people right now in my chat. We have some friends. I have had multiple inquiries from chatters trying to get me to talk crap about the other one. So Killian is like, hey, can you please say something about my friend P-Malk? And I ignored him because I was busy looking at the game. And now P-Malk, first-time messenger, he's saying Killian has a flat neck. Now he's making fun of Killian. Well played, guys. Well played. Well played. Welcome to the stream. We got some walls now from ACCM. ACCM will know that MbL will not really have the opportunity to have any counter damage because he doesn't have a scout build here. And I think it's worth it for another Vill kill. And ACCM does 2, and he gets 2 villager kills. Chat, don't ask for explanations. I don't think we want clarification on what that meant. But this is rough for MbL. I mean, he is Chinese. He does have the cheaper techs. He does have an awesome tech tree, but ACCM has just been on a roll here, man. He has been on a roll. Walls will be up, which means he'll take no damage, and don't really think he has to apply more pressure, but he could. He just has to assess the situation here. It just comes back to that boar. But, you know, it comes back to that board. It comes back to the start of the previous game. It comes back to many different moments throughout a series. It's never down to one moment in a best of 7. But yeah, this game is super difficult for MbL because he just doesn't know what ACCM is going to do. Now, he can't see ACCM's transition from here, but he knew about the range, I guess, so he will expect some type of follow-up. And he's hoping there's a hole in the wall when there's not. And ACCM will bring skirmishers forward and an additional scout, which is a good move in my opinion. Apply a little bit more pressure. Even if you overinvest in army, who cares? You're Persians. You're fully walled. MbL's army isn't even a good counterattacking army if he wasn't walled. MbL has to be walled up quickly. From MbL's position, if you're wondering why he doesn't have more army, because if you invest in Feudal Age here and they just beat you to Castle Age, you also die. So you're kind of... You feel like you've made just enough. Wow, why? I was not expecting ACCM to come this way. What's up with that? Did he see something? I was on MbL's Fog of War expecting the army to come in this way. But he went back. He must have caught a glimpse of that army from MbL, and MbL's able to go home, which means MbL caught a glimpse of him and knows he might need an extra unit or two. If ACCM saw him, MbL would have saw ACCM. So that's good for MbL, because one bad thing that could have happened was he would lose his villagers here, which hasn't happened yet. Another bad thing would have been losing his army. Now he kind of knows about it. And he can see it coming through. The spearman could get some hits at least. Yeah, he's just tossing the spears so he can have some time here. But ACCM invested into a lot of additional army to get through, to get value. And he hasn't been able to get through yet, but he's trying. MbL needs that gate to be locked. If this gate ends up going down, it's horrible. But if this gate ends up opening after he completes it, it's horrible. That villager's going to open the gate. That villager's going to open the freaking gate. Oh, God. Did it open? I couldn't tell. Ah! I don't trust villagers, man. Okay, he locked it. Sorry for the screen. Oh, God. There's this guy over here. Quick walls needed. More quick walls needed. Oh, run. Oh, God. Oh, no, 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 no. Not to die. Oh, my God. Don't save your friends. Let them die. It's not worth it. Ugh. Well, I mean, he's on the way to Castle Age. So I think what you need is you need a unit that can pack punch without a lot of upgrades. You need a unit that has some potential meme to it right now. And I think MbL is going to try it. He's going to try the Fire Lancers. We saw it earlier from ACCM with the Fire Lancers. Every civ that gets Fire Lancers, we're starting to see now. It only costs wood. It only costs gold for a Fire Lancer. And you don't need to get the upgrade. Like Pikemen, you can just make them right away. And ACCM isn't up to Castle Age yet. I don't know how this has been so delayed compared to MbL. Obviously, he made more army, but the fact that he's still not on the way up is pretty wild to me. And he doesn't know about this additional barracks. So if MbL can drop a second TC at the very least, he can stabilize the eco. And the army type should be pretty strong for him as well. You don't want this army in here running around your base right now. You can't allow it. And MbL won't. The skirms were enough to hit the skirms on the other side. A couple houses go up. MbL's got a chance here, guys. Another game, more siege towers and more Fire Lancers. It's just funny to me. Because, like, siege towers and Fire Lancers were kind of sneaky good. They were already really solid, but it wasn't seen every game or whatever. And then the devs buffed them both. And now every game with a Fire Lancer civ, I feel like we're seeing this now. And behind this, we have archer range for ACCM. So I think his plan is to play Cav Archers. He should know it's Fire Lancer now. If you see the barracks with a flag on it there, you should know. And actually, you should be double layering with walls everywhere. So the second you see the siege tower anyways, does he see it? He doesn't see it. Oh, man, dude. Oh, man. MbL's not even showing a Fire Lancer. He won't even defend the house with a Fire Lancer because he wants counter damage. MbL needs to win. They see him rolling. I don't know if they're hating yet, but, you know, that could come. Here he goes. He's rolling forward. ACCM doesn't know. He still doesn't know because MbL is just repairing the house. The siege tower needs a target. The wall has been opened. The wall has been opened. And like a gift from the Lancer gods, MbL can roll right into the base. Oh, God. This is horrible for ACCM. All he had was time. And now the taxi is through. He didn't expect it, guys. If MbL would have attacked it all with the Lancer, ACCM would have changed everything. But he hit it the whole way through. And now he's able to zoom away again. Look at the idle time for ACCM as he runs out to build a TC, which is looking pretty sus. The vills are idled on the farms. His wood lines are idled. He can't deal with the tower yet. He can't consistently produce Cav Archers. MbL's in an amazing position. And, like, look, right back in the tower and speed away. I think I prefer MbL's position now. He's going to have siege as well around the map. This tower is not going down anytime soon. It takes a really long time to take this down. Kills 2 more vills, or 3 more vills, runs away. He's on 2 town centers with good eco upgrades as Chinese. The reason this is strong is first off, the towers are really fast, which is insanely strong. Then they're also really tanky. Then they're also really cheap. But then the Fire Lancers have the ranged attack. So their first volley, it does that range damage. And then the melee damage, it's strong against Cav. So it's not like you can just run in and snipe these if you can even get close. It's really OP. So it's not even a siege tower. It's a siege taxi. And I mean, props to the player. You got to use the tools at your disposal, right? ACCM did it to him earlier. This brought him right back in this game. ACCM is reeling right now. He really has to try and stabilize this. He can't hit the tower. If you're walling anything, you really need to wall with house walls so they can't use what the siege tower is intended for and put the units over top of the wall. MbL's out. Insta-fires, gets some damage. He could hop right back in the tower now if he wants to, and the tower's still going to survive for a while here. And now he's got the rocket carts onto the TC as well. ACCM's attacking the tower. So and MbL knows it, and the Fire Lancers are out attacking the Vills. And now they're attacking the units, and now he's back inside the tower. This one tower has changed the game, and ACCM has trapped it. Okay, so that's how he stops it. Finally puts an end to it. And now there's another one coming. Big shot. Big shot. ACCM needs it. He lands it. Nice. Luckily, he's Persians. Persians have a tendency to be able to recover villager losses, but, like, that was brutal. I do wonder... I feel like MbL's just going to boom and do the siege tower, Fire Lancer stuff, but eventually you might need to switch. Without the siege tower, Fire Lancers feel like a weak move against the Cav Archers, so that was a decent shot for MbL. Sometimes you're kind of committed to this now. If you go 3 town centers, you can't easily tech switch. 4 TCs. Oh, God. This is classic MbL. I've seen MbL lose so many games. Already has the eco lead. And now he's going for a 4th town center. They see me rolling. This is so stupid. I can appreciate the fact that it's different. I can appreciate the fact that it's creative. But this is so freaking broken, man. The HP's got to go, or so you can at least kill them, or the speed's got to go. And while we're at it, we can look at the Fire Lancer, but that is insane, man. That is insane. It is soul busted. MbL is not here to discuss balanced opinions. MbL is here to win. And so he'll consider rolling underneath the TC and just roll away. Feel like a castle's coming, guys. I could just sense a castle getting denied, and I don't know which color yet. But I've seen these situations before. Big attack there from MbL on the CA. So ACCM has not been able to mass the Cav Archers. We really needed that mass. You need like 15, 20 of them eventually with ballistics. The thing about this, by the way, too, as a player who's faced up against this crap, you know, as a longtime player and a high-level player, you just get kind of annoyed and tilted. Like, it has a mental aspect because you feel like it shouldn't be a thing. Now, I'm not sure about militia in siege towers. Okay, so that poor guy, they gave him the wrong wardrobe. He would have been perfectly fine as a Lancer. Other units don't recharge their ranged attack inside of a tower, but Fire Lancers do. So, like, with Gebetto, there's a large delay when they fire out of the siege tower, when they hop out. But the Fire Lancer, that does not apply. So that is another thing that makes it really strong with this method. Remember, it only costs wood and it only costs gold for this entire army for MbL. He doesn't spend any food for it. All wood, all gold. Oh, God, there's the castle. Oh, no! No, ACCM! Yikes, bro! Yikesburg! Well, that is the downside of stand ground patrol right there. Another discussion we can have, and something I will upload a video on this week. But that is the downside of stand ground patrol, because your units all stack, and that can be really good unless you make a mistake, and then you get punished. I feel like game number 7 is imminent now. I mean, the Cav Archers have not been able to stay alive. The 3, 4 Fire Lancers over here can defend from this. MbL is now starting to go for a bit of a tower rush. He's got his 4 town centers working. He's killed more Cav Archers. And the defensive tower from ACCM might complete. Like, what does it do, really? It just goes right down. It doesn't even stay up. MbL will go guard tower himself. He'll drop a castle in the middle. He's just way ahead, guys. Crazy turnaround from MbL. To not have that boar and to somehow recover after such an awkward feudal age is so MbL. That's so good. It's a bit of a mental hurdle for ACCM. I think it's really nice that you end up having, as he landed a big shot there, It's really nice that he will have Chinese himself going into game 7 now. Because, like, if this happened to you and you use Chinese too in, like, a mirror matchup or whatever, maybe you're not as comfortable with the next civ. But if Chinese is OP and a lot of people think it's really strong, they will both have it now. So, or they won't both have it now. ACCM will have it next. And maybe this is what ACCM does to him in the next game. ACCM will have the exact same ability, and ACCM won't lose his boar. Probably. Though, honestly, I think MbL is going to lame like crazy. So, ACCM knows he's behind, and he's trying to drop a forward castle to do something. And the Fire Lancers find him. Oh, boy. Well. That's not good. MbL knows what that means. He'll kill the villagers. Kill a lot of the villagers anyways. He knows the villagers are not running out there for any reason but a forward castle. And he's here with another tower. And he's here with another rocket cart. And MbL's on the way to Imp. He slices up more vills. And he wins the game. Damn. The thing that ACCM will regret is that he produced that extra army in Feudal, and then he ended up just knocking on the door, right? Like, he was fine in Feudal H. He did damage, and he could go to Castle Age and adapt, but he then produced a couple extra scouts and a couple extra skirms. Maybe he got an upgrade. I'm not really sure. And then he ended up, like, just knocking on the walls. But I want to go back to this because I really need to point out how epic this was from MbL. Now, a top 100 player out there might be like, nah, T90, that's standard, bro. And I get it. But like, let's just appreciate the fact that this was the surprise factor, okay? He had to hide this. He could have put one Lancer here just to stop this army from going in. He lets this house get really weak. He repairs this with Vills, who will slowly go down. He's got to pull them away at the last second. And ACCM never even knows it's coming, right? Like, he had no intel on that it was coming. Now, I think ACCM needed to always have a skirm here. And I think he maybe should expect it because it's that strong right now. If you see the flag, you should know to look here. He looked over here instead. But for whatever reason, like, I don't know why he deleted this hole. Why did he delete this hole? Oh, for that town center? Oh, God. Well, anyways, that didn't help. That was also really bad. But if he doesn't delete the hole, then the units can just get clicked over. But if the units get clicked over, then they can't get back in the tower, which means that maybe he can kill them and maybe he can defend from it. So it would have been a much easier situation had they not rolled through. Yeah, this looks like MbL deleted it. Are we sure? Check him PC. It looked like MbL deleted his own walls to move through or something. So, damn. I'm shocked to see this. So as we switch the colors back, the number one civ pick for both players in this series was Chinese. We're in the final game of this series. One would assume that since ACCM hasn't played the Chinese, he would not play it here. Or he would now play it here. He has not. He has gone for the Lithuanians. Now, I had said that I thought MbL would go Shu, and that MbL would play YOLO style with archers and siege to try and punish the Chinese. ACCM has been known as the cook for many years. That's what people call him. And so maybe the cook is cooking something up here. He's maybe baited MbL into the Shu, and then he can use the speedy Lithuanian skirmishers to counter the archers. But I don't love this. It's going to look amazing, or there's going to be a lot of questions because the Chinese have a guaranteed villager lead. A guaranteed villager lead. And now I consider this matchup even. Lithuanian Shu, it could go either way for me. Chinese Shu, Chinese have the lead at the start. So, you know, to pull off my best Margugu impression, and apologies in advance to Margugu, stay humbles in chat. Margugu once said, they... I'm embarrassing myself. Maybe I'll just give up on that. But Margugu was basically like, I think he burnt the food, right? The cook burnt the food. Horrible, 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 horrible. Not very good French. But Yeah, we'll see. I just can't imagine not playing Chinese in a best of 7 when you pick them first. That's crazy. I don't know if I can really remember any best of 7s where someone has not played their number 1 pick. It's not really a detail that I would maybe remember like others, but just weird. Just weird, weird, weird. I saw Nikov was in chat. Nikov, give me your thoughts, people. Thoughts? This is odd. Now, we've been in a very Drush-heavy meta, so we've seen lots of little nerdy 2 militia builds in other sets. ACCM tried that earlier with the Wu, and Lithuanians are good for that. He's not doing that here, but I think that's what MbL is expecting. MbL will try and match this. Hera says he's afraid of getting lamed as the Chinese. Yeah, but like, MbL lamed himself because his boar was going back and forth in the fog of war the previous game, and he was still fine. Yeah, I'm afraid of getting lamed when I play Chinese as well, but I feel like it's worth the risk. But yeah, I mean, it definitely is more risky, so maybe you don't want to take the risks here. I'm all about the risks. Give me the risks. My draft has to win me my series. So, yeah. I think most players would consider this matchup somewhat 50-50. And if you think about how ACCM has won, that's actually rather interesting. Think about the games he's won. What units has he been making? Skirmishers and knights. Or at least knight units. So that Lithuanians are perfect for that. ACCM will click up. Feels like a scout opening from him. MbL is making militia right now. And MbL is looking for ACCM. Lots of hills right now. Generally, you want to avoid the hills to find the enemy. But, ooh, see, the base is either over here or over here. I think he sees this deer and thinks there's no way his base is right here because he would push that. But then if you go too far this way, you begin to second-guess yourself. Could be pretty interesting timing to show up with 2 militia. 2 lumber camp build from ACCM. Wow. I actually don't like this wood line or this wood line. I'd much prefer this wood line. The way my brain works is if I ever see wood expanding from a flat wood line like that, I call this, in my mind, free trees. That's probably just T90 logic, but I think it would already be a good lumber camp if these extra trees weren't here, but that's free. I get a chunk of, like 5 extra trees before it becomes a normal wood line. Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, 3 militia on a hill. On a hill. Oh, no. MbL finds the wood line. He should kill 1, Vil. If he doesn't, it's a disaster. Can he kill 2? I think he can. He'll block with the front militia. He tried. He could still go back for more if he wants, but that's already worth it. And when you go to lumber camps like this, you're so much more exposed. We have not seen a lot of double lumber camp builds on the really hilly maps because you only have 5 per lumber camp instead of 8 on 1 lumber camp. MbL could still get some more damage. MbL's not on the way up yet, but he's going for his famous egg walls. Little circular walls here against whatever that pressure might be later on. But his eco is cooking back at home. A little bit of food income from the wood line. Always helps with the shoe. MbL may lose his scout here, unfortunately for him. But I think it's all worth it. And just trading a little bit of HP. Weakening the scout there from ACCM. So now that scout can't even pressure him. And now the stable's a little delayed. He's going to go archer range now, but his eco is so fragile. Oh, man. MbL should be very happy here. But he's got a lot of work to do with the walls. I'd say full wall this bad boy. 6 villagers walling, I don't care. If this scout's weak, it can never stop it. There's a chance he goes for a stable. It'd be really good for MbL to know what the army is that's coming next. He sees the spear. Oh, that's so good for MbL. So now he knows it's a skirm opening. These walls have... The walls have a nice personality. I think that's the mildest way to put it. But As long as they complete, as long as the villagers are protected, it's fine. It's just a little less than ideal, but it is what it is. This is the famous MbL egg walls. And people have laughed at these for years, but it's incredible. Because you're safe. And if you went for the big walls, you'd get punished. Though, honestly, he's walled so much, who knows, but you got to take no risks here in Game 7. MbL has... Oh, man, he has 3 militia in here. Did he spot those vills? Here comes a forward from ACCM. MbL will want man-at-arms. He doesn't have the food for that yet. MbL does see this. Decision time for MbL. And decision time for ACCM. ACCM doesn't see there's a counter tower coming up. He thinks man-at-arm upgrade's on the way, and it's not. Now the counter tower's on the way up. MbL will kill the scout. MbL will defend this. At least I believe he will defend this. That's nice quick wall. Oh, that's really nice quick walling from ACCM. Wow. Can he hit the other palisade, though? He has to hit it real quick. He does. Okay, towers are up for both. MbL wants to batter down that tower and have his villagers inside. Hasn't been able to do that. No eco upgrades for MbL. He does have a lot of farms already. Already on 7 farms. But no double bid axe. Woodlines are still a big concern for ACCM. I feel like he has to chase the man-at-arms. And MbL's man-at-arms will struggle, I think, because the skirms are so fast. The shoe follow-up is usually archers. And that's, I think this whole game flow is why ACCM went for Lithuanians in the first place. Because he wants the speedy skirms. But MbL, if there was a player who's made knights with crappy knight civs more than anyone at a high level, I think it's MbL. MbL's like, a knight's a knight, dude. No problem. Here's an interesting aspect of this. ACCM went to stone, which MbL would have caught a glimpse of, but that means that ACCM can actually repair this and stay here for a while. MbL will repair and then run out of stone. So this is a position that ACCM might hold. And another unit that ACCM might want is Latus. You want skirms and you want the unique unit Latus. So he's maybe in a spot to get there eventually. But we're talking like super long term. This is messy. Men-at-arms are weak. I'd be surprised if there's any value here, but who knows? And ACCM continuing to repair. Go full garrison, and MbL's... No, not the tower bug again. It stopped firing. No, this is a bug. Okay, thankfully it started to fire now. Towers are bugged, and occasionally towers and town centers, and I think castles will not fire. It's not firing, dude. It's a known bug. It's a reported bug. But, like, it doesn't seem like his tower is automatically firing on MbL's tower at all. Oh, it should auto-fire at that tower. This is horrible. It should be auto-firing on that tower. Okay, he noticed at least. He noticed. This happened to someone in the earlier rounds. But, like, but that changes the whole... That changes the whole situation there. That's really unfortunate for ACCM. MbL will take this down now. Now there's a new tower for ACCM. MbL did go to stone so he could play defensive towers as well. The man-at-arms didn't kill any vills. They've been walled out. Yeah, if you notice it, you can still manually attack the other tower. But you're just assuming that the game is going to operate as it's supposed to, and you're focused on everything else. I think MbL will batter this down with vills. But it's kind of risky, right? That's a lot of skirms and spears. I don't know if you can. If you rush, and then you open a hole into your base, too, it could get really awkward. MbL needs to know where his other gold is right now. He does know, but it's outside of his walls. Oh, ACCM's about to rush this. ACCM's running in. MbL sees it. MbL has very little army right now. MbL drops the houses. But his tower is going to go down. His villager will go down, I think. No, it doesn't. Could, though. He doesn't know what to do here, MbL. ACCM Masterclass. Spears and skirmish with Lithuanians. Chinese. Still in the draft. Doesn't need them. Once this house goes down, he can immediately just place another tower in a really strong position. And it does deny a bunch of farms from MbL. MbL does not have the stone for another tower, guys. Because he built that stone gate. And just because he wasn't as heavy on stone. He wanted Castle Age, but he's not close enough now. So now he's adding scouts into this. But this is looking so good for ACCM. Farm count looks nice. Market's coming up, so he is thinking about Castle Age. I do wonder if he will expect the scouts at all, because it feels kind of random. He sent units back here to disrupt the wood line, but he didn't see the stable. So if MbL is like... I mean, there's only one spear here. If MbL has 6 scouts, and then he traps this army, or traps the villagers from escaping, ACCM, go back! ACCM, go back! Abort! MbL's trapping him! There's only one spear, guys. There's only one spear. ACCM has gone too far. He's gone too far. His villagers are stuck. MbL with the scouts. MbL has killed all the vills. He could still batter down the tower, honestly. Oh, no, there's a hole there. There's a hole there. That doesn't matter. The scouts pay for themselves. The scouts, the tower, all this could be dealt with. But surprisingly, MbL doesn't batter down the tower. I don't think I'm misjudging that. I think that tower should be gone right now. I think there should be all those vills full tilt on it. Still, that was good for MbL. He'll kill the skirmisher here. ACCM's thinking about where he's going to get gold right now. He can see this gold that's not being taken. He can see this gold that's not being taken. And now he has the heads up to know he needs some spears at home from the scouts. ACCM will probably go to Castle Age soon. And now MbL's building more defensive towers, but was that his opportunity to collapse with all of his scouts and villagers and take down the tower once and for all? ACCM double-checked his trees there. He had the potential for an overchop on these trees on the edge. He shifted the vills around. He still has some spears at home. He is on the way to Castle Age. He is building another tower here and just hoping to hold this position. But MbL needs gold. And if he ever shifts to gold, it'll be spotted. MbL will take one spearman. He does still have the man-at-arms for the other, but I still think ACCM's fine. I would not go Latus here. I would probably just drop town centers and make a couple knights, if anything. But, I mean, can you imagine if he YOLOs forward with vills and drops a castle here? Imagine if he buys a castle somehow. I mean, the rates would have to be really good. He's not Saracens, but... And MbL's tower shoots this tower down, but now there's another cheeky tower from ACCM. This is like ACCM of old. Before ACCM was the top 10, top 20 talent, he was maybe... I mean, he was up there. Maybe 30, 40th, I don't know. Something like that. Maybe he was way better than that, but he used to love his little one villager cheeky towers. Full walls, sneak archers, lots of towers. I think MbL wants a castle. But maybe it's more defensive towers from him. He moves out to the gold. ACCM lost his spearman there. So he's double checking. And MbL will be towered up. MbL sniped 7 villagers in this feudal age. Way more than it would have done had ACCM not overextended. He just lost another vill himself, though. ACCM is up. ACCM has 2 stables ready to make knights. MbL 30 seconds away from the next age, and it'll be forced into another tower now. It's kind of interesting. If MbL can take down these spearmen, MbL's scouts can clear all these skirms. So I think he hops out with the vills and just attacks the spearmen. Hopes the spearmen move. I mean, the knights are an issue. Once the knights get here, he has to run. But when it's 2 towers, maybe it's okay. Skirms will try and stop this. Scouts are on the way. Villagers can go back to the tower. MbL's holding. Still, this tower here is really annoying. MbL's back on the gold now. You got knights on the way. The knights won't go underneath double tower. Ecos are really fragile for both right now. It'll be Haeguang for MbL, but you do not get bloodlines with the Haeguang. So you get your 60 HP, 11 attack. It's so weak compared to a knight. Like a knight with bloodlines is 120 HP. This is not where the Shu want to be. This is the opposite of what the Shu want. But he can't play archers because ACCM has played a tower skirmisher game. Quick walls from ACCM. Oh, careful. Well, he does have a spearman here. He does have the knight. He should be fine, but he needs to save the monk. And yeah, he saves the monk. He saves the monk. He'll complete the town center. He's taking down MbL's stable. MbL now loses a stable, so he can only produce out of one stable. I like the value MbL's getting from the Lycav. I don't like MbL's long-term military situation. He needs some good engagement somehow. ACCM is going to be on 3 town centers. For every relic he collects, he gets +1 attack on his knights. And MbL has to defend here with the Haeguang underneath the towers. But I think it's doable. I think that's doable. I don't know how confident ACCM will be just yet. Score is kind of deceiving here. I feel like ACCM's got the lead, but I guess his lead hasn't kicked in yet because we haven't seen the TCs pay off. He already got 1 relic. He's about to get the second. This is a problem for MbL. He needs a big fight. Can he get it? Can he kill off the knights? Skirms won't matter to ACCM. It's all about the knights. Some of these weak knights are moving back. That was honestly okay for ACCM. You go into that with the numbers, you think it's going to be worse, but then you're reminded how important HP is. And then the extra attack too, right? And then there's still this villager here with the tower. And you can't see it in there, but it's in there. MbL will kill her real quick to stop a siege push, but I don't think you need the siege push. I just think you need to raid with knights. People judged that he didn't pick Chinese, his #1 civ in Game 7. People question it. I would have never done that. But it seems like ACCM's in his comfort zone right now. The skirms are disrupting the house walls. Still needs to be careful because he has some weak units here. There's no hole. MbL's kept the Vil count competitive. Maybe ACCM overextends here because there is also the garrison tower up here as well. But ACCM now has 3 relics. He's going to break through this so fast. +3 attack, 4 free from those relics. But he still can't break through. Oh, but he's running through. He's being so patient. MbL with more quick walls. This is so much pressure. This is what ACCM has done in his wins. Just cav and eco. Town centers and knight units everywhere. There's a lot of towers around. There's also the monk there. A monk somewhere from MbL. He gets the conversion. The damage and the idle time is starting to add up, though. ACCM threw a lot of army there, but I think it's worth it. MbL's eco has been super inefficient. Idle's up here. Idle's back here. And ACCM is grabbing the 4th relic. Look at the farms for ACCM. He's going to have 5 relics. 5 relics. I mean, normally, in normal circumstances, you say MbL needs pikemen. But knights with +4 attack kill pikemen. So he needs a fight now before ACCM recovers numbers, and he needs a castle on his face. I think this score is playing tricks on MbL here. MbL thinks that he still has the Vil lead and that ACCM is all in because he's ahead in score. But that's not the reality of the situation. ACCM has a significantly bigger lead than he would ever imagine. And MbL's forced to build a castle here just to reclaim his gold from this tower. And ACCM is going to bring his own Vils forward and drop a castle on the other side. So the gold is still denied. That is an excellent castle. And he has the army for it. I mean, there's no way MbL can deny it, right? MbL could maybe intercept the Vils if he were to move out now. But he doesn't feel like he's quite ready enough to do that yet. ACCM has just brought the pressure here, guys. And he lost that Vil early. MbL is fully walled. It looked like such a comfortable spot for MbL, but the continued tower rush and the spears and skirms paid off. Even after losing those Vils, too. Crazy to have +4 attack right now. And of course, the relics just give you gold. So, I mean, no worries there. MbL, where would he take gold? Does he see any gold up here in the north? He doesn't see that 3-tile gold. So, I mean, can't do anything about... He's probably going to get raided over here now by ACCM. ACCM sees the monks. Kills one. He also killed another one over here. Both monks got conversions. I think it's over, guys. I think it's over. MbL can't get the house wall. All the knights are coming over here. This many knights with this much attack will completely destroy MbL. Monks are not going to be enough. Knights continue to run underneath the castle. He does not care at all right now. He has the strength. He has the numbers. So he's just sending it in. Like a true cab player. Town centers everywhere. Army everywhere. Is the micro going to be perfect? Nope, but it doesn't have to be. MbL gets the house down. So he doesn't lose the wood line. But now a 30 villager lead for ACCM. And now he can make Latus. And Latus also get the extra attack. And Latus also ignore armor. And we've talked about a lot about new things that are maybe overpowered. Like the Lancers and, you know, maybe some of the civs. This Latus unit has been ridiculous for years. Lithuanians are not a new DLC civ. They are sick with the Latus and 5 relics. MbL doesn't have this score anymore. So he'll know he needs a counterattack, but like, counterattack when? With what? The ACCM could deny this castle. I don't even think it's completely necessary. You're already denying the gold. You're already doing everything you want around the map. But you have a chance to. Why not try it? It makes it awkward for MbL. And yep, there he is. ACCM could just chill right now. But it's game 7 and he's about to have no chill. He's going to go for another castle, guys. This is sick. Denying a castle on this side. About to go for another castle over here. There's not even an obvious hill or anything to place it. Is he going to place it over here? I mean, I respect the energy. He still hasn't allowed this castle to go up. He's just going to place it right there. Well, best of luck to you, MbL. Because if you're going to escape from this army, you are going to run to this side. MbL is going to be completely surrounded by castles now. Where does he go? I don't think there's an answer. His plan was Imp. And his plan was Traction Trebs, which is a great option. But, oh my goodness, it's an absolute disaster, bro. It's a feast. MbL only has 1 villager in the town center. I thought he had 15. Well, if it's any consolation, it wouldn't have mattered. He would have saved a couple more vills, but it wouldn't have mattered. He would still be having problems over here. We now have Rams from ACCM. MbL drops the GG. And congratulations, and ACCM wins. What a fighter, dude. What a fighter. It's been such a long series. I'm trying to remember some of these games. Okay, game number 2 was the Skirmisher Lancer game. But I think the other 3 wins for ACCM were Knights, TCs, and Raids. And like lots of crazy mobility and pressure. This is not easy to execute. And it's very easy to question not picking Chinese. But he didn't want to take the risk with his number 1 civ because he thought MbL would maybe lame him. And I think he also thought that MbL would play Shu, which I had predicted. It was probably the best of his remaining options. And maybe he felt like Lithuanians were just a good matchup here with their skirmishers and with their cav. MbL, what he would have wanted to go differently was the feudal age. Like, the scouts actually ended up getting value for him, but maybe he walled too much. I think a lot of players have gone for the little drush into much faster feudal ages with a lot bigger of an army response. For MbL, he was just hoping to sit behind his walls for most of the game, and then the towers punished him. People don't go for towers that frequently these days, but ACCM used to do it all the time, and he pulled it out there. Loved the pressure in early Castle Age as well. I love how fast he was on the town centers. I love how fast he was onto the relics. Impressive performance. I said at the start, I'd be happy and also disappointed for both players. MbL will be bummed, but ACCM an absolute god. Well played, ACCM moves on. He'll be dangerous, guys. I think he's really difficult to game plan for, too. He's he addresses things way differently than other players with his draft. I mean, clearly. So, yeah, Chinese. Left over, didn't even need it. And he beats MbL 4-3.